then you know another thing, see what they forget. See, like me tonight, so we also got to deal with our elections, okay? And if they run into a problem, they coming over here to me, okay? But I don't say shit. No, really right, he don't respond. But he'll tell you in the meeting, talk, but I call him.
What's up, y'all? Take a moment to share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. How y'all feeling this morning?
Question for you. Do you have an 8 o'clock or 8:30?
What's up?
On the table with the Urban League, and what they're doing is this here. I know this is something that Melody deals with a lot. So when I see it, I just go for it. And it's this morning, though.
I mean, do they have somebody trying to get on the show?
Yeah.
Who?
She just asked me, was it still on the table? They just not responded to me. So I got to see who they're going to bring on. I don't know yet.
Well, I mean, tell me who it is. I mean, I don't care. That's fine.
Okay.
Like for 8:30, maybe 8:30.
Okay.
Charge it in. All right. We good, baby? Y'all have a good day.
All right, you too.
I'll talk to y'all tomorrow about my little
What you with?
You don't like them crap.
Some of them.
That is not freaking the best promo.
I heard that the other day, actually.
Best promo. No, I'm not democratic, but we had to play the game. But some of them, I just want to kick them in the head. That is the best shit. That's a promo. But she liked it or didn't like it. Yeah. So what? It takes an ear. But we're so short staffed. We ain't got nobody to keep up and all that stuff. We do it too much. But whoever put that one together with time, I just want to kick them in the ass. And they beat ass. I would have left. I would have left it right there. I would have kicked them in the ass. I would have left it right
What's
there.
up, Rob? Facebook.
That was a good
I mean, you too.
I tell you one I couldn't stand. What was that girl? What was the lady?
This is Thursday.
Bridge.
Don't lose it.
Build the bridge. Build the bridge.
Thursday.
That
Don't
one,
lose it.
I couldn't stand that.
Aye, Captain. I'm not keeping no more books. Make my dog
I mean, what is it doing
bag
for us?
heavy.
Promos are what's supposed to be for us.
He's calling me. He's not coming in.
Yeah, build the bridge. Oh my God. Who did this? But y'all ain't got the masters in, so. There we go. All right, y'all be good.
This healthy reminder is brought to you by Next Level.
You're listening to The Morning Show with Maze Jackson on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Rise and shine. Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Featuring Maze Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show. Wake up!
What's up, y'all? Take a moment to share the broadcast. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, in the building. Todd, how you feeling this morning?
Oh, there we go. I feel great. I forgot to bring the microphone with me.
You can't forget to bring the microphone to the radio show, man. You always got to make sure you got your mic locked and loaded. You know what? It is the morning show. You know what? It seems like Annette Flournoy will not be with us this morning, so we are going to have our fill-in news anchor catch up with us because the plane is taking off today. I ain't had time to be waiting for nobody. So let's do this. Let's say what's up to the rest of the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to the Wonder Twins in the control room? What's up, Sonia Escobar and Miss Sonia Tompkins? How are you, ladies?
Much gratitude because I know I'm going to join the WVON family. I feel so good. It is. That is so awesome. I wake up with my best friend.
You wake up with your you wake up with them or you go meet them? Ooh, you waking up with?
Mm-hmm. Ready to mingle.
All right. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, ladies. And Sonia Tompkins, how are you feeling this morning?
And I am feeling so good, so rejuvenated. I finally got me some sleep. But I'm feeling good.
That's good. That's good. It's always good when you get some good sleep. You know what? I feel like these days, even an extra half hour makes I feel like when you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, an extra half hour on the front end of that is almost like 2 hours in real time.
Yes.
Like in real time sleep. Like, if I go to bed at 11 o'clock, it's much different than when I go to bed at 11:30, and it's like light years different when I go to bed at 12. But I'm gonna tell you, let's do this. Let's. You know what? I guess I can't be like that. All right, I ain't gonna even be like that. I'm feeling kind of crotchety this morning, so I'm not in a I'm a little frizzle. But that's okay. We're gonna get this soul playing. We're gonna get it cracking, but we're gonna go ahead and wait for our news anchor. In the meantime, we're gonna run through some of these headlines.
Hey, Maze, really quick.
Yes.
I just heard Todd do it. Do you remember Mr. Bill?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh no, Mr. Bill. And then the claymation, they would smash him all the time. You mean
was funny.
that? Oh no, Mr. Bill. Yeah, I remember Mr. Bill. The old claymation. What was it from Saturday Night Live?
Yep. Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live. Do you remember when they used to have that show that tried to compete with Saturday Night Live called Friday?
Friday? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I remember, was it Mad?
Oh, that's
That was
later.
way later. What
Yeah,
about?
Friday had Kramer. He was one of the people.
Was he?
Nah.
Oh, you know what else was another show that I was thinking about that had a lot of people that we don't think about? Do you remember Soap? Wah wah na wah na
I was about to do
wah
that.
na na na. Man,
Yeah, I used to love soap.
I was scared of Soap. Soap was like a
I got scared of soap.
because I was
I was young and he was younger, so yeah.
Soap was like eerie. It was like a dark, very dark feel. But you know what I always remember from Soap? The lady, the mother in Soap, the redheaded lady who went
She
on.
just died recently.
Did she? What was her name? Helene something, because she used to be on Who's the Boss. And I used to watch her on Who's the Boss. You know what? One of these
I
days.
remember Who's the Boss.
Well, everybody remembers Who's the Boss. Just think about Sam then and now.
Oh, now he's over.
Samantha.
Who is Samantha?
Alyssa Milano.
Milano, yeah.
Right? Remember when she was like a good girl before? And it was like everybody grew up with Sam, and then one day she turned out to be like and we was like,
A
Sam,
woman.
Sam, what are
To be a
you
woman.
doing? Right, I think it's hard when you see people grow up on TV and they're little kids and you remember, like, it's kind of like Raven. Like, think about how cute Raven was and look about what she turned out to be.
We ate next to Raven at the streetcar in New Orleans. She had this bodyguard. He was like old size but bigger. Like he must be on steroids big.
Uh-huh.
And that's when she definitely had an eating thing going on. She was surrounding that food.
She was surrounding the
She
food.
was around like nobody get close to this.
Security from the food.
I don't even think I really saw her face.
Man, just think about you. She was such a little cutie when she first came out on the Cosby. But you know what? I think that's a perfect case of being like super exposed as a young child and then like not like I feel like she's super entitled acting to me. You know what I mean? Like I guess when everybody fawns over you from the time you're born till the time you turn into like Raven.
Yeah, but she was super popular.
Yeah, she was.
So, I mean,
and
her
she
show-
had I'm So Raven. And,
Yeah, that was a popular show. I watched it. I watched it with my niece or
Todd,
my
you-
child or something.
I remember that show.
You
Yeah.
remember? Well, I'm So Raven. My daughter used to watch I'm So Raven. You know what? Okay, all right. You know what? How did we get here?
There's one more thing before you go on. We can't forget about Benson, people.
Oh
Mr.
man,
Benson.
can I tell you? I love Benson. Benson is
It's
the.
Sonya's fault, that's why.
You know what Benson made? I used to love Benson until Django came out. And then after Django came out, I was kind of like, dang. Because Benson worked his way up from the butler to lieutenant governor.
Yeah,
now, if that is not a rise in power, but it was the classic story of the dumb white guy who had the smart black dude who was smarter than everybody, but he had to wear the white jacket.
That's true. That.
You know, like,
You talk about me.
what, you never watched Benson? Benson used to be the black guy. He was the black butler in the governor's mansion. I'm gonna tell you, I used to love that on
He
Friday.
was the smart guy on Soap.
Right.
He was keeping the family like, all right.
And that's
this
the
is what we
on-
should
Oh,
be
I
doing.
seen a snippet on YouTube.
You trying to be funny?
Yeah.
I used to watch Benson every day. Remember when Benson went off of TV? So first of all, that was Friday night TV, right? Because Benson used to come on Friday nights. And remember Missy Gold, and then her sister went on to be in the other movie. Her sister was with Kirk Cameron, and what's the one with?
Oh yeah.
But Johnny
Robin
Benson from Facebook Live said Benson made that show.
Benson was, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, it revolved around him.
I like Benson better when he was the butler than the lieutenant governor. Because he was like, oh, y'all dumb. Nah, when he was... He was like, y'all all stupid. He was like, oh, y'all dumb. Like, the people was running the government. You know what?
What? That sounds like a great show. I want to watch it now.
You get Hulu. Get Hulu. Right? Watch it on the app. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe one of these days we should have that as a topic. Like, all the good old TV shows that everyone could watch. Were there ever...
Show me something good.
Man, was there
Can
ever...
you sing Green Acres?
Green Acres is a place for me.
Yeah, everybody can
Farm living is a life for me. Land square now the far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside. New York is where I'd rather stay. I'd regular spelling hay. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. What is this? You know what? This is the WVON morning show, and this is what happens. I feel like we're on a Southwest flight. This is like when you're on a Southwest flight and the crew is not here and the hostess is walking down the aisle trying to keep up. All right, y'all. You know what? I don't care if you all tried to get me out of my crabby mood. I'm still crabby. Now.
It didn't work.
Almost had me. I'm back to being Krabby Maze. All right. So look, we are waiting to get this thing off the ground. In the meantime, can I just say this? Whoever planned the entrance into downtown off of Ida B. Wells that said that we now need to go through they made it into a one lane. And have you ever been in like a one lane shoot downtown? So imagine every lane merges into one lane coming downtown. If you are trying to take the Congress, yes. One lane coming into the city. It is a nightmare. And then when you're driving through it, I'm always nervous. I'm going to go just a little too far to the right, a little too far to the left, and scrape up the car. And so I'm going to tell you now, if you are taking the Ida B. Wells inbound after 4:30 a.m., be prepared to be jammed up, because I don't know who the engineering company was that planned that out. Hey y'all, I am also a little dragging because I was out last night getting my award.
Hooray!
At
I would have been there, except the couch, the chair was talking to me. It wouldn't let me go.
That's the story of everybody's life. It's all good. It's the morning show. We got to get up so early. The chair in the arena was about to get me. It almost got me, so I'm not going to even front. Look, it's the WVON morning show. Let's take time for traffic and weather, and we'll be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of...
You got the camera.
And 60s was all about country and western. The shows that dominated: Andy Griffin, Green Acres, Petticoat Junction.
I hated Petticoat Junction.
They all were related.
Right, I know. I hated Petticoat
Gomer
Junction.
Pyle. Those are some good old days. I love Petticoat Junction. I used to watch that over and over. Used to come on.
I used to watch all those when you
Channel
were out of
32.
school.
Yeah, exactly.
On Channel 32.
Yeah.
On the loop. I never saw the original.
It's a fundraiser.
Yeah, those were good days. Everybody was a country person back in the day.
Fundraiser. Oh, did you see the girl?
What else was there out there? Yeah, it's like May said, I watched Dick Van Dyke over and over, probably for all the way until I graduated from grammar school. I probably watched every episode from first grade on. I'll come straight home, see Dick Van Dyke, I Dream of Jeannie, something else that came on too. Oh, Bewitched. Yep, good after school programming. Now once Dark Shadows went off, there wasn't anything on 2, 5, or 7 anymore. Nothing I could think of. I didn't watch those ABC movies. Not too often. Come on after school. That's more like Maze's probably time period. But I can watch, the Flintstones, watch that over and over and over. I should be able to write an episode now.
So,
Those were good
they
days.
can't do 8:30, Urban League. They said they can give you a recap tomorrow morning if you want to know about it. If you read it, you would want to talk about it.
Who's
Because
in the
they
panel?
kind of talk about the stuff you talk about when it says what's in for election.
Right. And then
So, I think we should do them tomorrow at 8 since it's a short day. If you have something else, no problem, but, I think they need to be heard. And if, yeah, I think it'll be good. I forwarded to you. It was memo to the mayor, reversing outward migration on the table.
who was at the table? Who's at the
Let's see
table?
who's at the table. They talking about how Washington Park lost more than 2,000 black residents.
Who were the people who had the
2,000?
conversation?
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. She don't have it on here, but I asked her.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Funny. It seemed like it's there. Discouraged. I loved Gilligan's Island. Love day.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's all I'm living for. Yes, sir. Don't wanna pressure you, baby. All I ever wanted to do, I wanna be your lover. I wanna be the only one. Makes you come running. I wanna be your lover.
You mind talking about some stuff?
Turn you on, turn you out, all night long, make you shout, oh, lover. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, y'all. And we got to run through some of these headlines. First of all, I want
Wait, did you know Prince did a concert where all he did was like Linus Purple Day?
to, yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think I'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
All right, yes. He like, I got it. Yes, we did. It is the WVON
I
morning
did
show.
think I had
You thought you had you one. That is Ty Stroger. I'm the host, Maze Jackson. Hey, y'all, I want to run through some headlines. First of all, I want to thank everyone who came out last night to the Tobacco Road Foundation gala last night. Let the good times roll. We definitely had a good time last night. Thank you to all of the awardees. Shout out to my girl Toy Salter, everybody's favorite prom queen. To Michael Finley. It was real. That was a funny moment because I was like, excuse me, you're Michael Finley from the NBA, from the Dallas Mavericks. I was like, do you mind?
Wait, you know what you forgot, right?
What?
You're
Proviso.
Michael Finley from the University of Wisconsin.
Todd, you didn't graduate from Wisconsin.
Oh, you didn't graduate from Illinois. You keep on.
Right, but you went on to another school.
So what? I love them all.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he did go to Wisconsin. Actually,
Hey, if that's the case, I love Loyola.
he's my shout out to Bolingbrook High School for me. But Mike Finley, who happened to actually we were in college at the same time. We were right around the same age actually. But Mike Finley, you know, he's one of those guys that he's from Maywood, right? Maywood.
What are you trying to say?
No, hold on. He's from Maywood, and actually I think Maywood might have had the most NBA players. Somebody's told me that. Like Maywood over the course of time.
Yeah, they do. They talk like that.
They do
I've
have
seen
a
that
good
on
list.
there. Yeah.
But he I was like, excuse me, can I take a picture? You're Mike Finley. I was like, my name is May. He was like, I know who you are. And I was like, Mike Finley, you know. I was like, well, dang. Shout out to my cousin Juan, who was in the building. Her mom was there, y'all, so she had to dress like she had her church clothes on yesterday. It was too funny. It was great to all the Mark Harris for all of the films. I think I saw Alderman David Moore, Alderman Carrie Austin. Shout out to Alderman Carrie Austin. She gave me, she was on the stage, and as she was accepting her award, you know she threw a "What's in it for the black people" out there, right?
Right.
I was like, yeah, she was like, as the man said, what's in it for the black people? I'm telling you, this thing is catching on. We're going to talk about it. And you know what she didn't do? She ain't try to remix it. You know how people be like, I want to know, my question is, How do we find out what is in it for what does the African American community get?
Oh no, she really asked.
No, she was like, nah, because everybody be trying to do it, but they be trying to slick around it.
Right.
She was like, as the young man. So shout out to Alderman Kerry Austin, who's in the building, and thank you to Jim Alita and Dorothy Tillman for putting on, and Ebony for putting on such an awesome event. I want to know who the heck is this Sheila O'Brien chick? This former appellate court judge from downstate that just keeps meddling in our business. See, now I'm just gonna show y'all.
I remember Sheila O'Brien. Is she from downstate?
Yeah, she's from there. Are you thinking of Sheila O'Grady?
Oh, man.
Okay, well I'm thinking of Sheila O'Brien. Well, anyway, this is this appellate court justice, former appellate court judge who retired, who has decided that she is going to stick her nose all up in this state's attorney's business. She seems to be trying to keep this thing alive, so now she's questioning Leroy Martin. Here's my problem right now, and I'm gonna tell. This is one of those moments when the white people the black people in the political power need to talk to the Irish people in political power. If Ed Burke was around, this wouldn't be happening. Because she wouldn't be feeling comfortable enough to be walking around disrespecting Ed Burke appointed judges. Now that Ed Burke is gone, she feel like she can just come up here from anywhere and just start writing and asking questions. And you know what? That is white privilege at its finest.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just say this: somebody needs to find out where she come from or who she's connected to, and they need to start. Y'all, look, do y'all not understand they are not playing games? They are going to keep it up. And so if you do not strike back, it's like, you ever seen somebody say, hit me? If you hit me, I'm going to whoop you up.
Right.
Hit me again. Hit me again. How many times we go? Look, the green team, whoever, and they didn't even hide it.
She's working for somebody.
O'Brien.
That's what it is.
Oh, of the Bryans. Right?
That's right.
All right, y'all. Look, I need to be the black people's Luca Brasius. Nah, because he got killed.
No, yeah.
no, not Luca Brasi. Okay. Anyway, did you see former Markham Mayor David Webb admits to corruption?
Yeah, I saw that comment.
I met Mayor Webb. Isn't he a doctor too? Doesn't he have a doctorate or something?
I
Anyway,
don't remember.
first of all, I just want to say, at least he did not go down for taking $5,000. He got a couple $100,000. So at least in the realm of black corruption,
Right.
he didn't take the Negro money.
Yeah.
But if you read the story, guys, if you read the story, it is the classic case of what I said to these suburbs. We move to the suburbs, we move into these suburbs, and then once we get to the suburbs, we let the old infrastructure, we get the titles and let the old infrastructure stay. The old infrastructure props up the new black elected official, and then they keep running where all the money is. Y'all, could you imagine if we went into these towns where the mayor was, and instead of it being tower construction, it was black power construction, and it was black lawyers, and it was black. Do you understand how we could regenerate income in our own community? What that story shows me is just how our communities still generate a ton of money and are there to be plundered by everybody but us. Man, am I crazy?
No, you're not.
Okay, thank you. I just
It's
want
not
to
on
check
this.
that. All right. I want to talk about this a little bit later because I want to talk about Black Power. But did you see President Preckwinkle and Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot met yesterday for lunch at Chicago Cut?
Ooh.
Now, you know how that means. Chicago Cut is the preeminent be seen spot in Chicago right
Oh,
now.
really? I need to go there.
Yeah.
I only got over.
No, when you go to Chicago Cut, that's like where all the big time lobbyists, the big time power brokers go, and then you go there and you have lunch, and then everybody looks around to see who else is there, and then that's where you get in. Well, anyway, they had lunch yesterday, so I can imagine everybody was looking and watching. It seems like Lori Lightfoot. I feel like Toni Preckwinkle is just not conceding. It's like she's kind of conceding. She's like, yeah, you won, but I still got the other half of the county. I'm not going to bow down. She is not going to become one of Lori Lightfoot's bannermen.
I thought we got that kind of vibe when she was here.
Well, apparently she put the vibe. Lori Lightfoot said, I think it's in the best interest of us burying the hatchet. Tony Perkins said, we'll continue to talk about it. I would tell y'all, it's, woo, women. Oh, should I have not said that? I'm sorry. Oh, bosses. The battle of the bosses. We're going to talk about that. Michael Clifton, 60-year-old police officer, retires after forcibly groping and kissing women. Got him. Mayor of Sandwich, Illinois, former police chief for 16 years, got caught in a solicitation ring in LaSalle County. And then finally, just to add insult to injury, Hyde Park grabs another grocery store to fill in. You know that Treasure Island spot that was vacant for about a total of 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Guess what? Trader Joe's is moving in there. Meanwhile, in South Shore, dun 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 dun. What y'all getting? Pick and Save?
I think that's.
You ever been to Pick and Save?
I never heard of it.
Right, exactly. We'll be back after traffic, news, and the weather with the social media question of the day.
Live from the WVON newsroom.
I'm still crabbing.
Power News now.
Y'all take a moment and share the broadcast.
Pick and Save, we get the dollar store.
In South Shore?
I'm just saying, they're reducing us to dollar stores all over the south side of Chicago. If they're not closing up Walgreens, Targets, and all these other big brand stores, they give us the dollar store. When there used to be liquor stores everywhere, now there's dollar stores everywhere in our community. Like, really?
Yep, they are. They really are. Ed McGillicuddy, what up, boy? He said Sherrod Ford. What was it, Sherrod or is it Sher? Wait a minute, Sherelle. I thought it was Sherelle Ford. It's Sherelle Ford. Sherelle Ford. He's saying Sherelle Ford, Michael Finley, Donnie Boyce, Doc Rivers, D Brown all went to the NBA. But there's more than that. Cause where was Isaiah from? I mean, they say West Side, but he was from Maywood, wasn't he?
No, he's from the West Side, but he went to school at St. Joseph in Westchester.
I feel like at some point he lived in Maywood. Somebody counted him. Anyway, I was somewhere. I was out in Bolingbrook, and these Maywood dudes was like, Maywood is the greatest NBA town in the world. I was like, why are you in Bolingbrook then? Going back to Maywood then with your bad ass. You got the camera.
Who are the big ballers from Bolingbrook, by the way?
We got football players.
Ah, football. Yeah. Now, Maywood they produced a lot of basketball players, that's for sure. I feel like there was somebody off that list that I read that list somewhere on Facebook. But I don't remember. Yeah, Isaiah truly is a West Sider. His dad is only traveling to go to school. The West Side, you would say, they get pretty darn well. Those schools are always talked about. They had Marshall, Westinghouse.
Look, they look at the West Side like, oh, he from 5,000 West. He would almost been Oak Park. You said he from 5,000 West Washington. Shoot, 10 more blocks, he'd have been claiming Oak Park.
If you talk to the Oak Parkers, those 10 blocks are 10,000 miles.
Right. When you talk to Oak Parkers, that border is like the border. It's like crossing Austin. Crossing Austin is like, shoot, if they could put ICE agents that patrol black people at that line, they certainly would. Everybody want to move to Oak Park, and it'd be like, them be the most racist places.
They are.
You know, everybody want to move there, and then what you find out is the housing covenants. Man, I got a really good lesson on Oak Park. All right. Oh, Shannon Brown? Shannon Brown was from Maywood, too. Okay. What up? Okay, thanks, Daryl Wallace. Huh?
Are there a couple other Browns? Weren't they brothers? There's a brother. I mean, he had brothers.
You talking about D Brown, but D Brown didn't.
I wasn't thinking about D. But hey, whatever.
What's up, Tiger Lily? Think about, didn't Shannon Brown play with Tyronn Lue?
Yeah, I believe he did.
Dang. And look at how that turned out.
What's that mean?
Take a moment, share the broadcast. Hey, Diane Scott. Are you all going to the fundraiser on Thursday? Can you all get your tickets? Okay, the tickets will be on sale on Eventbrite today by 12 o'clock. Take a moment, share the broadcast. The property taxes are extremely high in Oak Park. That's where the assessor lives. What up, Nanette Doreen? What up, Yashika Wadi? What up, Jamalita? Hey, big spender. Hey, y'all, what they was doing over at the Harold Washington Cultural Center was pretty dope yesterday. It was like a professional. Jamalita threw me off the stage, though. She tried to turn the music on after she let everybody else talk for like an hour. Then she won't tell me I can't even say thank you no damn body.
Oh, you couldn't say thank you? I'm surprised now.
Hey, big spender. What up, y'all? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Whack the trolls. When no one is around you, say, baby, I love you. If you ain't running, say my name. Say. Did I send this to you? I sent this to you? I would call, you would say, baby, how's your day? But today, it ain't the same. Every other word is yeah, okay. Should it be that you were the crib with another nigga? There. Let me say, I am not the one to sit around and be played. You said to me yesterday, way it seems. And back from me, I know how you usually do when you're saying everything to me times two. Say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. If you ain't running game, say my name, say my name. Looking kind of shady, ain't calling me baby. All of a sudden change. Say my name, say my name. When no one is around you, say, baby, I love you. If you ain't running, say my name, say my name. May Mark. You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host.
Version of the Romper Room song.
What?
I see Maze. I see.
That's my co-host, Ty Stroger. This is the WVON Morning Show. I want to welcome everybody who is watching us live on Facebook around the world. I want to thank everybody that is tuned in on YouTube. Hey, I also want to encourage everybody, come with us on Thursday night. Support the What's in It for the Black People. Our first official fundraiser. We're going to be at Renaissance, 4641 South King Drive. Do not miss it. Doors open 5:30. It's only from 5:30 to 7:30. Y'all, we are looking for sponsors. We are looking for donors. But even if you can only contribute $10, come put your money where your mouth is when it comes to elected officials. It's a lot of PACs out there, right? A lot of PACs. A lot of people, a lot of black folk, a lot of white folks operate in this manner, and we're starting to see black folks do it too. But if you want to talk about a PAC that is focused specifically on black people, I'm not talking about all people. I ain't talking about, ain't no brown and black, ain't no blue and black, ain't no yellow and black. This is straight black. If you want to advocate for your self-interest, if you think if you're planning on running for office, and you are looking to build a base of support, if you have run for office and gotten the support of the What's in It for the Black People organization and it's helped get you over the top, we expect to see you Thursday night, 5:30 to 7:30. We are going to let this city know that black self-interests are back and at the forefront. Now, Todd,
I'll be there with my post-dated check.
You will be there with your post-dated check? Okay. You know what? That's what I'm talking about. Or you can just Cash App us. You Cash App us. We're going to also, so you can Cash App. We're going to have a credit card scanner. We're going to take your check. And we even take your post-dated check. Now you know if that check bounced though. Y'all know I got. Right, that's right. You know what? Don't you hate you know that's Todd. That's old school. So you post date the check and the people put it in anyway. You be like,
man, just ruin the whole thing.
Right, thanks, dog. Then you know what? Let me stop. Todd, you went old school on the mug. All right, let's go to the social media question of the day. So, did you all know that yesterday Rahm opened the final stretch of the Riverwalk East, as he calls it, and allegedly he's been telling his friends that if there is anything that we decided in Chicago to name after him, first of all, did you hear that though? He been telling his friends in private.
Like, look at the name something after
Right,
him?
like he telling his friends in private because he know if he said that stuff in public, somebody like, you crazy. But he said if there was anything he would like named after him, it would be the Chicago Riverwalk. Now y'all know about Chicago Riverwalk. Can I tell y'all something? That Chicago Riverwalk is something else. You know how you go places, you be like, it sure is nice around here.
Mm-hmm.
What is this, velvet? You looking around, you like, good Lord, look at that, got new lights, new concrete. Look at that, white people playing frisbee along the river. You got white folks paddling canoes down the river, like, whoosh. Oh, kayaks, not canoes. Whoosh, whoosh. They like, stroke, stroke. Whoosh. It's like a whole brand new paradise. And he only did it, check it, but they're dubbing it Chicago's, dig this, second waterfront. They're dubbing it Chicago's second waterfront. And Rahm says, if you're going to name something after me, name that after me. Now, I'm already take umbrage. I think if I lived on the south or the west side, if I was a black person, I'd be ticked off that the white folks done lapped us. They on their second waterfront. We ain't even got our first nothing big on the south side. They done just gave away $7 billion. Then on top of it, check this out. Rahm said, this is what he said. He said, I did this park for $99 million. I got a loan for 30 years for $99 million, and I could not beat the investment. Boy, I only got the return on investment made it where I had to do it. And so then he got another $12 million. So what's that? $111 million they did to build a Riverwalk to complete Chicago's second waterfront. Rahm saying, if it's anything you can name after me, I want you to name that after me. The Rahm Emanuel Riverwalk.
Well, doesn't that make sense since he spent all the money down here?
He spent his money or our money?
Well, our money. He spent it like it was his, yeah.
So it got me to thinking, Todd, because I figured the WVON audience, if Rahm got something he wanted to name after himself, I was just thinking, what would the WVON family, social media question of the day, what do you think Rahm should have named after him in Chicago? Give us a call, 312-374-8130. 374-8130. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel wants the Riverwalk dubbed Chicago's second waterfront named after him. I'm sure that if there was something we could name, I think that Black Chicago probably has some other things they would name after him. I would name, like for me, I would name the Great Exodus, the Rahm Emanuel's Great Exodus of Black people from Chicago. That's what I would name after him. The Rahm Emanuel-led Exodus. Maybe I would be like the Rahm Emanuel Murder Squad. How many of them? I would name the $200 million in police settlements. I would be like the Rahm Emanuel Police Settlement Debt Fund. Because we got to pay $200 million since Rahm has been here in police settlements that we'll be paying for our lives. Well, you got one? Give me one. Whoa! Right. Here, like, we should put a monument. You know what? Put a monument to Rahm in front of all the schools, the closed schools. You know what, y'all? I'm wondering, should I give Rahm a call? What y'all think about calling? Should we call the Rahm father up? Sonya, can you get the man on the phone? Can you find the Rahm father? Because, you know, we haven't talked to him. We only got a week left, y'all. I'm gonna have to call this fool every day. Cause you know he's still cutting ribbons tied. What would you name after? What you think Rom could have named after him?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I tried not to pay a lot of attention to what he was doing.
You tried not to pay attention, cause you it wasn't hard if you lived on the south side.
Right.
Because you couldn't really see it.
So.
Now I'm gonna say this: he did put a couple black restaurants down there. I did see a black girl on TV that I knew, and she was gonna probably have the cakes and pies. She got some good pies, boy, good pies. But I'm just saying, 500. Look, man, this dude is giving away the city. Look, can you, Sonya? Could you get him on the phone? Cause I'm just trying to figure out. Why don't you ring him up? Cause I'm saying, like, we ain't talked to the Ron father in a long time, and I'm just saying the Ron father is like, you leaving out of here in a week, man. And you talk about you want the Riverwalk named after you. I don't understand you. Okay, let's see if we can get him on the phone. Ron.
You have reached the private voicemail of the Ron father. I cannot come to the phone right now because I'm working on my master plan to rid the city of the colors. If you'd like to leave me a message, please do so with caution. Because if you're asking me for a favor, please be reminded that you may be asked to do me a favor. In the future, if you're still serious, leave a message after the beep. This is the Ron father.
Hey, yo, Ron, this your man Maze Jackson. It's like you getting up out of here, you still ain't called me back. Now look, I've been hearing about you telling all your friends everywhere that you want to name the Chicago Riverwalk after you. Well, I'm going to tell you, ain't nobody trying to hear that. You know what? We want to name these police settlements after you. We need to name the Laquan McDonald Law after you. We need to name the Black Exodus after you. If you don't call me back, dog, it's going to be problems.
Wait,
I'm
you need a new number, man.
Oh, yeah. Hey, dog. Hey, by the way, could you give me a new number? I know you're going to bounce out. You switched up your cell on me. Hey, Ron, why you tripping on your boy, dog? I mean, you only got like a few days. You don't come holler at us? Because I'm going to tell you, if you don't name it, we going to name it. Look, it's your man, Maze Jackson. Dang, these daggone messages. Ron, I'm going to tell you, man, you only got a few days. Why don't you come on through, man? What can, little old me, little old Ty, what can we do? You don't want to holler at us? You know what you're going to do, right? You know where he gonna go, right? He gonna find him a safe landing spot, because you know he don't want to have to answer the what's in it for the black people. But it's all good, y'all. It's the WVON Morning Show. When we come back, I want you to give us a call, 312-374-8130. Tell us, what should Rom have named after him in Chicago? It's the Talk Chicago 1690.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
That beat made you laugh, huh?
Yep. Right in the middle.
You got the camera.
Whatever be named after him would definitely be named somewhere north.
I think you can.
Even though you could name all the closed schools after him. That's a good one.
What do you name? North of Madison. What do you name after Ron Emanuel north of Madison?
Yeah, there was nothing positive done towards the south, so. Huh. Yeah, just name all the 50 schools that closed. Rom's buildings.
Here's what they think about you.
Mm-hmm.
You got, can you do, you fried chicken and biscuit eating,
Hey,
red hot jumping.
it's a song about biscuit eating. It's a good song. Can't remember it though.
Okay, that one is for, that's for later. I didn't send y'all.
No, it's my cousin. Fulton County Commissioner.
Oh my God!
Biscuit and gravy.
Can we, you know what? Can we find Chicago tonight? Ron Emanuel on Chicago tonight last night, talking about whether he's a Jewish mayor or a Jewish mayor or a mayor who's Jewish. Ooh, you should see if Sonya can find that now. Sonya, see if you can find Ron Emanuel talking about being a Jewish mayor. It was on Chicago Tonight last night. It's on the clips. Jewish mayor or a mayor that was Jewish. He did a whole segment on it, and it's like a whole nice little clip, which would be great. He was on
I gotta go to Atlanta
If we could find that before 7.
during one of their
that would be great, 'cause I
Commissioner
don't know that at 7.
Fulton County meetings, so I can see my cousin in action. Oh, they just did the State of the County address.
When?
Oh, this is Fulton County.
I was
Gotta
about
get
to say.
down there to see my cousin.
When are we getting the Speaker of the House on? Majority Leader. Did you follow up with that?
Oh, yeah, I gave his number to Sonya.
When did she say she was gonna do it?
They trying to say I should double back with Sonya?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Man, I'm for faking, I'm free five for making. Doma Tizzle, we got a celebrity watching us, y'all. You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger. And Ty, we still sitting on the runway. I'm going to tell y'all what. We taking this plane off at 7 o'clock. Regardless, we going to have to get there. But we are asking the social media question of the day. What should Rahm have named after him in Chicago? I say we name the Great Black Exodus after Rahm Emanuel. But I want to know what you think. 312-374-8130. What?
That's a good one. I like that.
I mean, it's got all the tie-ins like Rahm Emanuel, Great Exodus.
Yeah.
You know, Rahm Emanuel's Great Black Exodus.
Got a Jewish theme there?
Yes. Ooh, Jewish. Are we allowed to talk about that? Actually, did anybody watch Chicago Tonight? Gosh, darn it, I said it again. Anyway, last night on Chicago Tonight, Rahm talked about being the difference between a mayor that was Jewish and a Jewish mayor. We're going to talk about that when we talk about kind of understanding how this game works in the city of
As you
Chicago.
brought that up, I want to know what was that about?
Well, he was sending some words out to the people who he got paid. Look, y'all, you see they coming after me. You need to go ahead and break that bag off. But let's go to the phone lines. What should Rahm Emanuel have named after him in Chicago? Let's go to Mary. Mary on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Good morning, Miss. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Mary.
I would like to name a dog park after him.
Oh, Mary, a dog park?
Yes.
That's funny. Now I'm gonna tell you what, the Rahm Emanuel Dog Park. I think we should put his name right by the Pooper Scoopers too. Thanks for calling, Mary. Where are you calling from?
Beverly.
Where? Beverly. Oh, what school do you go to?
Sutherland.
Oh, you go to Sutherland. All right. Well, you know what? I know a lot of those guys over at Sutherland. They got a good basketball team over there, too. And they super smart. You all have a great day in school. All right?
All right.
Talk to you later. Thank you for calling. You know, we love the kids. And you know, we got these kids. You know what? I got to be careful, though, y'all. Because you know what? I keep getting parents telling me, now look, Maze, my child listens to you every day on the way to work.
Uh-oh.
And then I'm getting phone calls at school. Right? Kids are writing letters reminding themselves about racism. We're going to have to talk about that a little bit later,
Hey,
too.
I understand. I was kind of careful with my children. I didn't want them to think the whole world was turned against them. I wanted to be cautious, but, you know, not depressed.
Okay, well, we got to figure that out. I got to make sure I might have to bring back yoga or something so my kids can let it out. All right, let's go to Ron. Ron, you want to talk Chicago 1690. What should we name after Rahm Emanuel?
Hey, good morning, ladies and time.
What's up, Ron?
We can name it the Rahm Emanuel landfill, because guys simply garbage.
You know black folks gonna let them have it. All right, let's go to Shauna. Shauna, you on the Talk of Chicago. What should we name after Rahm Emanuel? Shauna let us go. She was like, Dad, you just took mine. Let's go to Randy. Randy on the Talk of Chicago. Randy, gone. Let's go to Michelle. Michelle, you want to talk Chicago? What should we name after? What should Chicago name after Rahm Emanuel?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We should find the most prosperous neighborhood in that city and name it the Rahm Emanuel Way, because he decimated the black community.
Oh, look at you. Y'all see, y'all so slick. See how black people do you? Like, you tell them, let's get it. Which neighborhood would that be? Did I look? She gone already?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all what. I'm sticking with mine. The Great Black Exodus. Rahm Emanuel's Great Black Exodus. I mean, I just think, Todd, do you think that somebody should be did you hear? Okay.
But I heard somebody say the other day that it wasn't just a black exodus. Oh, I was with you. Tom Seraphin was saying it was a middle class exodus.
Okay, well, for us, I really can't. Me and Maze. I said me and Maze. You know me.
Oh, now you think of the king. Huh?
No. Maze. I don't think that I can't concern myself with what's going on with the white folks right now. We got too many problems. I mean, they gotta leave. That's fine. They gotta work their thing out. But you know what? They gonna leave and go get their 401k and go be Becky somewhere else. We are in a challenge, and I just feel like think about this. Chicago's second waterfront. I think if it does not strike you as tone deaf, it's like he drew a line at, I don't want to say Madison, maybe Roosevelt. Well, now you got the 78, so maybe he drew the line at 22nd Street.
Oh yeah, the line has moved because of the new McCormick place.
Right, there you go. The new McCormick place. So they have looped in the McCormick place, the old low end.
Because they put a new train station.
And now they're trying to build another new train station.
Yeah.
Train station, a super train station. They looking like they want to get some more billions of dollars. I'm going to tell y'all. The fact that Rahm Emanuel said that this is the second waterfront, like, that means that they feel like they've lapped. So when you start building seconds, that means that you did everything you needed to do on the first round. I just also want to point out that while everybody was so happy last week or 2 weeks ago, while he was talking about the $100 million that he spent in neighborhood opportunity funds, he beat that on the Riverwalk. Do you understand that this man said that this $100 million loan, but at the low interest rate, that was one of the best investments he could make? How could he turn it down? Can you imagine what a $100 million investment on 70? Remember we were talking about 79th Street?
Right.
You can't even get $20 million on 79th Street.
No.
But that's all right, y'all. Because y'all like that lollipop stuff. Y'all. I can't believe this dude. Like, do you really think... Is there the potential that Rahm Emanuel could get something named after him in Chicago? Like, who votes on that?
It's definitely possible. Jenny Byrne has the whatever that.
Look how long it took her to get that. I mean, she had to die. I don't know if he should get to see it alive. If he gets he should not see it.
But she only had one term. It wasn't like she was there for
But she was the first woman, right?
She was the first woman.
So, she was the first woman. But Todd, I mean, the Jane Byrne, think about how long we had to go to. If Rahm gets something before Dusable, think about the fact that Dusable got a plaque on that same river. Is that the same river he sailed up in this mug on? He came up.
No.
Dusable got a plaque. Rahm got the whole river named after him. Is it going to be the Rahm Emanuel River? Like, really? The audacity of this. I think y'all let him forget about Laquan McDonald. I think that's why he don't come south. That's what it is. He just has cut the black part of Chicago off. He let his people deal with that. He like, you got that over there? How far south? You got that? Who over west? You got that? Because I'm not going past. Because y'all know how y'all black folks act.
You know how they feel. They feel like, look, I repaired your streets. I turned on your street lights. Why aren't you happy?
Man, you know who put out I really want to give him a shout out, but I don't know if it'll get him in trouble. But when he was talking about all the investments that went into the black community that everybody was bragging about, it was like all parks, sports, and field houses.
Right.
It was like we had like over Rahm's tenure, we got parks and field houses, and gyms and tracks.
Right.
White folks got they built two new gated communities are being built right now. That we're paying for that your kids can't go to.
That will have shopping involved in it.
Right. Think about this. The alderman who said you can't have your black kids off the train downtown and gotta stay is building the largest neighborhood. You think your black kids gonna be welcome there? We're gonna talk about that too a little bit later because I want to talk about when black kids aren't safe in safe spaces, but we're gonna save that because when we come back, I want to talk about where's the black power in Chicago. Yesterday, Rahm on Chicago Tonight talked about the difference between being a Jewish mayor and a mayor that was Jewish. But what was interesting was he never denied it. We got a whisper about it, but he talked about it openly. We'll talk about it all when we come back to Talk Chicago 16 night.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the...
Goodness. You got the camera. Todd flexing. Look at him getting the flex. Show him those cannons, Todd.
That's a stretch. The only thing that really did was didn't help. I got the rotator thing going on here. Got to check that out. You know, when you got these pains and you get older, especially in your arm. Doesn't matter if you're older. Don't check them out one day and try to move your arm, it doesn't move.
Got worn a few things out in 56 years. I was pretty
active. Swinging at the tennis ball too often.
I want you to take that piece up and play the good jump. Yeah, let's play that.
Citizen says there's a new complex coming to South Shore. What is this? January, February, March. Oh, that was 3 months ago. It's supposed to be a entertainment complex coming at 70th and Jeffrey. But a bowling alley, a restaurant, and a 7 Moon movie screen. When did this happen? Didn't seem to be a lot of news about it. Heard about Shop and Save.
Jazz of hazy wine and fresh lobster await you at the Opera Two Rivers Wine Fest.
I wonder if this is still moving ahead. I need to send this to me. Oh, I remember. Do I remember how to do this? I gotta watch that Chicago Tonight. Missed that too. Hey, did you hear anything about Alicia Starks doing a
Movie theater.
yeah? You heard that?
Yeah.
Huh, I missed that.
Where is it supposed? It's supposed to be over in that mall.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard about that. But who going to the movies over there? You from? Oh, you talking about over in right on 79? I mean, over in.
70th and Jeffrey.
Man, ain't nobody. You going to sit in the movie over there? You going to sit in the movie over there? I'm not.
Sure.
Man, shoot. I remember when you didn't even want to go to the one in Hyde Park. Because everybody be like, man, you go sit in that movie and be all the little Blackstones all up in that mud. Acting up. Oh.
Well, now you just stated another problem. This bad behavior kind of keeps good things from coming. People are afraid to put it there. I go to my son goes to a trainer right off of 71st and Jeffrey. But we were talking about that the other day. I was talking with the trainer.
And why they putting a movie theater over there without a grocery store? Don't nobody need no damn movie theater until you got the fresh. Get a grocery store. No shade to Alicia Starks, cause I remember when Alicia and Donzel Starks first started that first. I remember when they opened up the 3 theaters. When they opened up the one on, there was the one on 87th. There was the one in the West Side, and they had one more.
Yeah, they did have one more.
I can't remember where the other one was, but was it on the Southwest Side? Was it? But they had those 3 movie theaters, and I remember it was a big old deal. I was working, actually, I was working at V103 because that was like 1997. 1997, somewhere between 1997, 98, because I remember doing all the promotions for it, and it was just Alicia and Donzel Starks, Alicia and Donzel Starks. But that was like almost, I feel like that was kind of like almost like a black golden era in Chicago. Like, I remember, I feel like when I first got to Chicago in got back from college in 96. And like from 96 to maybe 2005, 6, it just felt like Chicago was just, it just felt like I feel like it was like Chicago middle class boom. Mm-hmm. And now I just feel like all of a sudden it just like, all of a sudden you looked up and it was like everything was just gone. I feel like that's not us, right?
I don't see them too.
No, we're not back. So, I feel like from 90 something to 20 maybe 07, I felt like there was black aspirations. Like it was like a lot of, I don't know, maybe I just got out of that cycle. Sir, I don't know, but I just felt like it was so many black people on the cusp. It was like, I felt like there was a pipeline. I felt like it was a way forward. Like, you might not like the people, but there was a way forward. I don't know what the way forward is.
I felt that feeling too.
Like, I feel like we'll be jumping until the break of dawn. Nobody ever told me that you will be jumping until the break of dawn. Boom, ba-da-boom, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-boom, ba-da-boom, ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Saturday. Come to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe! Boom, boom, boom. Celebration just begun. Didn't know you. But we're jumping into the break of dawn. And
Anybody ever told me that you the middle of the blaster jump?
You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. And Todd,
Musical genius.
Stevie Wonder's a musical genius. You know what? We are sitting on the runway, but I'm going to tell y'all what, we're going to have to get this thing up because we got someplace to go. We got things to do, people to see. So I'm going to tell y'all what. It is the WVON Morning Show team, Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger. I got the Wonder Twins in the cockpit, so let's get this thing up to 50,000 feet. And I guess they just have to catch up with us when we touch down. All right, y'all. You know what, Todd? I'm gonna take a diversion. I'm gonna take a little, since we got off a little late. We were just talking about something, and then I'm gonna move on to what you got. But Todd, what happened to the black? Like, what happened to the black community in Chicago, Cook County? Todd, it feel, maybe it's me, and I want you. I was just talking about this offline, and I before I go on to my next topic, I just want to see if anybody else felt this way. Todd, I feel like, so you know, I gotta put some. Let me get this right. So I was born in the city of Chicago. I lived at 514 East 62nd Street until 1979 when we moved to Bolingbrook. I came back to Chicago in 1996 from the University of Illinois. And Todd, I felt as though Chicago was the land of opportunity for black people. I felt like everywhere I went, there were examples of successful black people. And I'm not talking about like billionaires and millionaires, but I did feel like there were so many examples of successful black people, and I felt like there was a way forward. Now, whether you were political, whether you were business, it was education, I just felt as though there was an opportunity. I flashed back to places like the 18th Ward on the southwest side of Chicago. I like to liken it like the miniature version of Black Beverly, where city, county, and state workers lived if they wanted to live kind of, you know, if you wanted to live as far away from this, get as close to suburban life as you could in the city, black people moved there. Or there were places like the 8th Ward, the 6th Ward with Chatham, right, where there were examples of black people doing well. From 1996 to 2007 is really when I felt that. But Todd, I now, looking around black Chicago, I don't know where the opportunity is for black people. For a black, up-and-coming, a black family that lives in Chicago. I think back to being starting up and trying to, you know, make a way. And you know, you get your first house and you cut your grass and you're looking, there's a couple next to you, and it's like maybe 5 or 6 young couples, and they're all getting started and they're all kids. And I think about all of the people that my kids played with growing up, and they're now turning 18, they're graduating from college, but I'm not seeing them. I'm not seeing as many of them. I think of, you know how when you see those pictures and then people just fade away?
Right.
I don't know where the examples of black success for the average black person, I'm not talking about filthy rich. I'm talking about solid middle class. I go to work every day. I come home. I do get my little vacation. I got my kids. You know, what happened?
You know, the 90s, that was when I was, you know, hitting my 30s. And I think one of the things that happened was we got a Democratic president, Bill Clinton, who put some effort and some resources into urban areas. I mean, he actually looked at them where the Republicans tend not to. And I remember, maybe it was my age, and we go to places, go to Push would do a lot of stuff. I remember going to things where it was like, if you want to start a bank, this is how you do it. And there was a whole bunch of people there. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older and I have different things I gotta pay attention to, but I don't know if that energy is still there, and people, the energy is there, because they may still have events like that, but do people feel like they can go to them and get something accomplished?
Well, see, that's my feeling. Is like now all of those things have become part of the dog and pony show. It's like, let me go to this place and talk to these guys, and then once I get through talking to them, I check my box, and then I get to go do what I want to do. Todd, I don't know, where are the examples of black success? Like, where does the black power in Chicago reside? If we were to take an economic assessment, not even just economic, just a full-on assessment, where does the black power in Illinois, and let's just stay with Chicago right now, Cook County, where does the black power reside? Where is it? Where is the path forward? Who is creating the lane for the people behind them? I would tell you that, one of the things I always talk about is my guy in the 27th Ward. Mm-hmm. Right? He kind of remember when everybody kind of had they crew of young go-getters, like say Alderman Burnett might have had his crew, Terry Peterson might have had his crew, right. Yeah, 8th Ward had his, we had Young Democrats, we had just all of these different organizations. We had the protesters that I still protest them. Yeah. But it was an ecosystem, and it was like, yeah, we didn't really, we used to talk smack. But there was an ecosystem. Todd, I don't even know where the black ecosystem is. It's like, I feel like we've gotten so comfortable in the rope, like in just saying what it is, and the same 6 people always eating. Todd, I was just looking at I was just doing a physical eyeball assessment of where the granted black power in our community resides. And do you know that, without being shady, who under 70 is in black power? I mean, who really is at this point right now battling for the future, not the past?
I would say over 60, but okay.
Okay. Even over 60. Who's battling for our future? Right now, everybody I see, for the most part, is battling to protect their past. And what is our way forward? Where is the black power in our community? Where is the black? So as we are getting lapped, these fools just built a second waterfront. What? Where's the outrage? Where is the who's in charge? And y'all might say we don't need nobody in charge, but clearly we need something.
You're right.
Because right now, he just said we're building a second waterfront. Y'all got man. When my brother put that up yesterday and listed all the parks and the park districts and the field houses, and these people just took $6-7 billion off the table, and then just waved in your face, name my river after me.
But you said without a leader, the group is lost. There has to be a shepherd.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all what. We ain't got one, and we getting shepherd. Whoever it is, they shepherding us off the cliff. It's the WVON Morning Show. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
No, that's a Judas goat.
Huh?
That's a Judas goat.
But we need the leaders. We need some leadership, somebody who everyone will respect from all groups. You know, first it comes from your own group. You need black people to respect you first, and then you take that respect as a leader and you go out and you talk to the other groups and say, look, man, we're not doing this unless this happens. Well, speaking of that, I'm going to mention Maryland this morning.
Okay. So I'm just saying, y'all. Where does the black power reside? We ain't even playing power games. They putting a cap on your boy today, boy. They want to stop me. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Who's rocking with me today? What up? What up, Dennis Kaiser? What up, Yashika? What up, Tiger? What up, Joe Soul? What up, Susan Peters? What up, Michelle Dowdy? What up, Sean Hawk? What up, Robert Clark? What up, man? What up, Milton? What up, Tiger? What up, Carlton Smith? What up, Patah? What up, Vaughn Rowland? What up, Tamiko Holt? What up, Laverne? What up, Regina Hayes? What up? What up, Jeanette Braids? What up, Twin? What up, Lisa Cooper? What up, Wilson? What up, Josh Gray? What up, D. Reed Taylor? What up, Nia Malika X? Shakir Muhammad? What up, Dre Smith? What up, Dwayne Hirsch? What up, Michelle Dowdy? What up, Andre Smith? What up, Stephanie Falasha? What up, Greg Granite? What up, Larry Go? Lori Go?
I think it's like an old English name.
What up, Travis Trevito? What up, Alonzo? Y'all said name the pet cemetery after him? Y'all tripping. What up, Daryl Wallace? What up to my beautiful, lovely wife, Commissioner Steele? What up, Denise Russell? What up, Leah Moni Martin Hodo? What up, Angela Kirkpatrick? Y'all need to share the broadcast. Do me a favor. Take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Ask your friends, where's the black power? What up, Ebony Tillman? What up, Josh Flynn? What up, Ellis? Ebony, you had a nice dress on yesterday. What up, Mrs. Martin? What up, Sheila? What up? Hit that door. What up, bro, Ed? What up, Deneen? What up, Pamela Wilson? Have y'all shared the broadcast this morning? Take a moment, share the broadcast. They don't want you to see this conversation. You are tuned into Top Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson.
That reminded me, Doris Day died.
Doris Day died. You know what? Who else? Somebody else died. The lady from the Peggy Lipton died too.
Oh, Peggy Lipton. You know who's her daughter?
Who? Kadada Jones or something like that. Rashida Jones, right. Oh, so that's Quincy Jones, because you know Quincy Jones used to move around. You know that Quincy Jones was a slick fella. Because you know he slicked around a whole bunch. His special was really good until I realized he was, you know, catnipping with the boys too. So I was kind of like, okay.
Catnipping.
Man, after I found out about him and Marlon Brando.
I saw that.
I was like,
Marlon Brando.
That made me a little nervous. But hey, you know what, I'm learning. So yeah, I want to know, where does the black power reside in Illinois, in Chicago? You know, I was thinking about how many skirmishes I get into and how many times that I am in a skirmish and I'm getting beat on by black folks for black issues. And I wonder, like, Todd, who's the proactive black business? Who's the face of black business right now in Chicago for black people? Who is the face of?
Isn't it the Black Leadership Alliance? Isn't that what they call them?
The BLC? The face of? So let me ask a question. And you see, I don't want to get in this because, see, my phone gonna start ringing. But again, I'm just gonna say, in that, it's like, how much of that represents the business of us that's going forward? I feel like a lot of things have been created, and I'm not going to focus on the BLC. What I am going to say is I do think that there are a lot of entities that are put in place to keep consolidated power, which I'm not opposed to if I can get tangible outcomes. If we can see tangible outcomes. I don't want to talk about for your generation. I want to know who the business leaders are for my generation. Who's the face for my generation? Who's the face?
It's your generation. You pick somebody.
That's what I'm trying to get there.
Oh, okay.
Religious, or particularly in the spiritual community. Who's our pick?
Sonya said Father Flager.
I forgot. Father Flager got that one locked down. All right. So Father Flager is our spiritual leader. Who is our business leader? Who is our grassroots leader or leaders? Like, because I'm going to tell you, have you ever been to one of these summits? I get more calls about the past. I don't think I ever get a conversation. Not I don't ever, but rarely do I get a conversation that says, my brother, how can we build together? It's usually, my brother, I seen you was doing this, and so I decided that I'm going to show you how we used to do it. And I'm going to beat you to it. And I guess my question is, and this is really for my generation, who got our back? Like, who is really advocating for us? For you and your kids? No, seriously. Who do we have at the table that has children, that is going to pay for the reforms that we are going through, that is going to not smile when we do $112 million rebuild on the bridge and say that's a smart investment as we continue to cut black opportunities? When the dude come on TV and say, y'all know what? I'm about to build the second waterfront. Uno, dos waterfronts. But you can't even go to Rainbow Beach because they think y'all gonna have too many black kids over there. But and what you think gonna happen when your kids try to come down to the riverfront? Well, they see all the white kids playing frisbee. So I gotta take my kid downtown, show them all of the wonderful stuff that they got downtown, and then go back to their neighborhood with nothing. And the mayor talking about he want to name the Riverwalk after. Now we need to rename King Drive after you. I
worked for him too. There's been a lot of change, right? Oh, Washington Square? Was it Washington?
Washington Park.
Yeah.
All right, Washington Park lost over 2. You're right. He probably would take King Drive. He'd be like, see, I could even clean up King Drive. Because you know King Drive is the blackest street all around, but he almost swept to 47 now.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to move people off. Look, y'all, it's time for us to do an assessment of our community. I want to, at 8:30, I want to talk about return on investment. I want to talk about our return on investment over the last, so when we start looking at events and looking at candidates and projects, etc., and I ask you what's in it for the black people, we need to be like, what is our return on investment in this? Not which 6 Negroes got good, but how do those 6 Negroes do better for 6,000 Negroes? We got to stop this taking the material costs and start taking the workforce. I have seen millions of dollars in contracts let. I have seen hundreds of protests, and then I see them go away, but I don't see new businesses or employment. So, again, what are the outcomes of all of these meetings to meet? How many new businesses, I want a list of the black businesses that are going to be participating in the 78, and I want a list of the black businesses that are going to be participating in Lincoln Yards. It's a study of the study. Right. See how that go? See, we got this racket that we've created, and we're in this hamster wheel and I'm going to tell you, when Tom Serafin was like, Maze, I mean, you really are exposing some things, because every time a deal comes to I probably shouldn't say he said it. But anyway, it's too late now. I'm already down the path. But he's like, it seems like it's always the same guys. I mean, you guys never really ever get anything because it's the same 6 guys. They always take everything off the table, and then they have us thinking, that we're helping the black community, and then we turn on and we listen to you, and we find out that the money didn't make it to the people. That's right. We're dancing. I'm dancing. Remember that on Tom and Jerry? I'm dancing. When Tom was the baby and the 3 bad cats came in, and he was like, hey y'all, black power, where does it reside in the black community? We got to stop letting other people pick our leaders. And I'm just saying, y'all, it's time to transition. I'm just telling you. We need to start thinking about our plan forward, not our plan backwards.
Right.
Because I'm telling you right now, people are. Didn't they tell you can't win a game playing defense? You got to play offense. When you stop playing to win, when you just try to play to protect what you got, you lose.
Right.
Well, that's what we've been doing for the last since 2007. I can't tell you what the upward trajectory for black people has been. Name the new big. Remember, it used to be a time you open up the MAGA paper, you open up Indigo, and you'd be like, dang, it's another bad black person. Dang it. And you thought you had a chance. Can I tell you what? On the top 20s, the top 40s of the 40s, the top 50s of the 50s, it'd be one black person. And they ain't even from Chicago. Think about right now, our biggest black person in Chicago was made by white people, and he's an artiste. Real talk. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic and the weather.
Is that the guy that the mayor said the other day?
Yes. Yep.
At the L stop?
Mm-hmm. And I ain't tripping on him. It's just, like, that's the biggest we got that came. Who came up since Rahm has been the mayor? Black. He picked off some unknown black people. Like, none of the, like, I'm going to tell you, all the people that were on the rise, he put a cap. He put a wall. Rahm, when he came, he built a whole new, he almost put a brick wall up to black advancement. You might not like Daley, but he knew he had to be inclusive. right? And that inclusion, and he sort of pushed that inclusion by telling the other people, you got to get out the house and you got to do stuff. Like, and kind of forced them to be his ambassadors, which is why you started to see things change. Rahm cut off all the upwardly mobile black folks that were the next generation of employers. Like, you think about it. I had a company that had over 100 employees.
That's a lot of people.
And it was all black and Latino when we went to the Latino places. But it was like, we got a $4 million contract and we went to the hood. Right now what happens is you get a $4 million contract, you pay the materials, and then you go off. What you see now is our activists, they give them work to shut them up, not to grow businesses. So we get...
Are you done with the conversation about where Mayor Rahm's?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, so the thing so the people who are privy to the 78 and to the Lincoln Yards projects, somebody pointed out to me that there were during the public speaking for the program at the Plan Commission, all of the people who would ordinarily be protesting these projects were no longer protesting the projects. As a matter of fact, they spoke in favor of the projects. So my question would be, if you look at that list and these are our freedom fighters and they all are supporting the $6 billion giveaway, who are the businesses that benefited from the $6 billion giveaway? Because to me, they would walk out in front and be like, these are the people that we helped get on.
Right.
What you don't ever see is the people who they helped get on. So you got 4 or 5 black contractors that had the capacity to do it and they get all the work. But I'm saying that those 4 or 5 black contractors, once they get the spot, they be like, give me, and they don't grow new businesses. I'm saying that we don't see, like, it's a one transaction deal instead of a multi-transaction deal. So you are the GC of this project. You got to go above and beyond to go find black people that are competent. And even if you have to say, I'm going to take less profit to grow this business and help them get to capacity and use workforce development dollars and all types of other stuff to offset your costs, so that we have at the end of one of these major projects, we have at least one company that is ready to do more transportation work besides yours. But see, that's why y'all don't want me talking though. Because see, you start asking the wrong questions, then you start finding out, see, follow the money trail. So then you go to the awards banquet and you see all, the white boy got all the black activists sitting around him like he Jesus, because he showed them $50,000 or $100,000 as compared to being like, y'all know y'all could get the whole damn pie. Or at least bigger. I'm saying, what's your company's payroll? Let me see your payroll count and let me see how many black people you got on it.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You are tuned in to the Top Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, Todd Stroger. And Todd, I done made him mad again.
Well, you know what you were speaking about, I just thought about this. I would think that part of the problem might be, like you were talking about capacity, is these businesses, like in the contractors, who've been around for like the last 20 years, their ability to grow. How far have they grown? Where they should be higher up the ladder, where they are not fighting over the same piece of the pie that new businesses are fighting over.
Right. See, Todd, I'm telling you that we've gotten comfortable taking the piece and not making it work. You know, this reminds me of the story of, it was a parable, I think. Jesus told a parable. Somebody told this parable. I don't know who it was. But about the guy, the rich man who gave his people each money. One person took out the money, went and invested it, and turned it into a bunch of money.
Yep.
One person took the money and put it into the bank. He didn't make a lot, but he got interest. And one just went and dug it and put it in a hole and didn't get nothing.
Right.
It seems like we've been digging and putting our black economic capital in one hole, and we haven't seen it grow. No, I don't see any prospering. Who is the big prospering development company? Who is the big prospering new, well, you know what, my man Cornelius Griggs, right? You got a couple. You got Charles Smith, who's doing his thing on the insurance. But when you think about like the whole, think about Chicago.
How much business goes through?
Think about Chicago and think about Atlanta. Think about how many billions of dollars are being spent in Chicago and how many billions of dollars are being spent in Atlanta. And think about the black community in Atlanta is balling out.
Between the city and, I'll just grab two. Between the city and Chicago public schools, they spend like, what? Well, they got a budget of like what?
Multiple bazillions.
Somewhere like 18 billion.
Billion. And I'm telling you, I can name all the black businesses probably. I can name the black businesses that do over $1 million. And I'm gonna tell you, they enjoy doing their millions of dollars and watching everybody else have to come big. And I'm saying it's time for a turnover, but I'm gonna move on.
Wait a minute, before you do that, right before I left the state, we passed the bill to renovate Soldier Field, and on that bill was the ability to start I forgot what we call it.
Concessions.
No, it was like a task force, but it wasn't really that. It was more like an oversight committee, and Charles Morrow, Lou Jones, and myself, I believe, were the black members of it, and we had a meeting with the sports facility authority, like, I don't remember, every month, every 2 weeks, whatever it was. So we were able to put pressure to have things happen. And, you know, with the dismal numbers, I think that, you know, a big project needs to have things like that. Somebody needs to be there, speaking to the guys who are working with the contractors and deciding who gets the bids and all that stuff, to make sure that like you're saying, up and comers get a piece.
Exactly. All right, y'all, I'm gonna move on because I want to talk about what happens when our children are not safe in safe spaces. I got two incidents. The first incident, Sonia, save this ROM stuff because we're gonna come back to that, so don't delete it. But I don't know if you all saw the story of the four teachers and a principal in, I believe it was 4 first grade teachers and a principal in Summerwind, California, took a picture with a noose and shared it amongst all of the staff and students, to which the black parents responded with outrage. That is not the first time that we have seen black children under assault in school, right? I don't know if you recall seeing the video. We just watched the video of the police officers beating a girl down the steps. We saw the video of a Louisiana police officer body slamming a teenager. And then in my own hometown, at the McDonald's on Weber Road, Sonia, I sent you some video. A group of teenagers were eating, black teenagers were eating when this happened.
I'm talking to you. What are you gonna do? You better sit the down. You better sit the down. What the What the What are you want?
in case you did not understand what was happening, that was a white man who basically approached a group of young black teenagers. And I guess, first of all, y'all know what it's like to be a teenager at McDonald's. Unsupervised with your parents. That's where you go to be a teenager. Right? It's like you go there. And here, can you imagine being approached by a man like that? Now, the first thing that happened was the kids whipped out their phones. So we have video evidence of it. But imagine being the teenager when that happens. Imagine being
but what really happened?
So basically, the kids were at a McDonald's, and a white gentleman who apparently was not happy with them being there walked up to a black teenager, and it's a video, so you can actually catch the video. I think we can share it on the WVON Facebook page. But he basically walked down a teenager, told him to shut the f*** up. You heard him continue to say, right. But basically, put that fear and intimidation on them and approached that teenager in an assault. And all the kids were like, oh my God, they were over at their own table having their own little good time. And he decided that he wanted them to shut the f*** up. Mm-hmm. Now, remember I told y'all about how these white folks are a little bit snippy. But what happens when your children, McDonald's is a safe space to me. If I go to McDonald's and I sit down at McDonald's, I believe that horseplay by teenagers comes with the territory. It's also like I believe that if you are a teacher and a principal, you're going to have black kids. But what happens when our children are in places that are supposed to be safe and they're not? Right. So think about these 4 first grade teachers that have black students. And a principal, that the 4 first grade teachers were posed with a noose and passed it around the school. What happens when it's time for discipline? What happens when your child is out and you've given them permission to be at Burger King or McDonald's, and you know that your child, can I tell y'all, who in high school did not horseplay at McDonald's? Who was not allowed at McDonald's? That is what McDonald's is built for teens. But when children are confronted by adults, how do you respond to that? And what do we teach our children in these scenarios as to how to respond? Todd, if you were to watch that video, I would imagine that the kid was trying to be tough. But when you are a 16, 17-year-old and an adult approaches you like that, you probably are a little bit frozen.
Probably.
How do we respond? What do we do? What do we teach our children? So those parents that have their children at this school where the 4 first grade teachers posed with a noose with the principal, and the principal was in consideration to be the district superintendent, are our kids safe? You used to teach your kids to respect their elders, but do you teach them to respect? Like, think about it. If somebody told you cut it out at a McDonald's when you were a kid, when you was horseplaying, you probably would be.
Well, he said you group of.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
And all the kids said they were like full out.
Oh, he called them a group. Oh, I missed that part. He called them a group of news. So then, because I think if it would have been us back in the day, we probably would have vamped on them.
That would have been Chicago.
No, I think if that would have been Bolingbrook and it was Mays, Eric, Everett, Twan, Donald, I think he would have got one. He would have caught one, but we would all been in jail. But what do you tell a 16, 17-year-old when that happens? How do we protect? What do you tell a first grader when you find out that their teacher was posing with a noose?
What are the Bolingbrook leadership doing about it?
I got to ring that phone. Got to call up the mayor. Look, we're going to talk about it all when we come back to Talk Chicago. See how they tried to throw me under the bus? But you got to fix that, because that used to happen back in Bolingbrook back in the day. I think it got to stop. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
May is Health Awareness Month. Fact.
What do you teach your kids under assault? Take out the phone? Nobody picked up the phone and called, though. They all videoed, but nobody called nobody. Because that's when you're supposed to call daddy. And daddy's supposed to come up there before he gets there.
Hey.
What up, y'all? Take a moment, share the broadcast. They hating today. What happened? Wonder why we fell off. Huh? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Wait, did I say? I thought it was the McDonald's. Did I say the wrong place?
Man, when you start looking up stuff, you start getting depressed. That's why the internet's so bad. That's where suicide comes in. I was trying to find that video. So I'm looking and I say, oh, here's something about McDonald's. So last year, black teens, they were Somalian Americans, were at a McDonald's, they're at a kiosk, and they're trying to use a card, and it's not working for them, and the white man is getting upset, and they leave, and basically he says, you know, you can't use link on this. And they're like, oh, you think we have link because we're black? And it gets into an argument. And then the kid say he shows a gun and runs off, and they run back towards the middle of McDonald's. The manager tries to kick him out. They're like, he had a gun. They're like, I don't care. Well, he really said something about foul, and still try to kick him out. It's hard being black.
Hit that dose.
Poor kids.
Todd, hit that.
Go ahead.
With the chance, you are a dancing queen, strong and sweet, only 17.
You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, I'm wondering, what do we do when our children are confronted with racism and racism follows them? Look, we talk.
And you know that's going to happen somewhere.
And you know it's going to happen somewhere. You know, even in my beloved Bolingbrook. You know, the Bolingbrook McDonald's at Boughton and Weber Road. I'm curious to know, there was an incident where a young group of black teens were called the N-word. I hate to say the N-word. I really want to say the word, but y'all have to beat that. And then the adult male followed the teen as he was walking away, trying to leave the incident, as you would tell your child to leave, and he was following him saying this. So my question becomes, and this young man was trying to avoid the conflict. Then then we hear the story of the principal and 4 first-grade teachers posing with a noose who had the audacity to send it around to the school. What do you do when your children are not safe in safe spaces? Let's go to Milton. Milton, you're on the Talk Chicago, 1690.
Hello? Yes.
Go ahead, Milton. All right, how are you?
Hey, who did the older people learn to respect, and who did they learn it from?
You tell me. I'm asking the question.
The white man. The black man built this country. The white man took it. Takes everything. The black man. This is the black man's world. Do you know that?
I know that, Milton. Thank you. Let's go to Lewis. Lewis, you're on the Talk Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, Todd.
Good morning.
You know what I'm gonna say. What did he just say? Okay, my comment is that our kids. There's nothing wrong with our kids. What we need to teach our kids is that when they run into an incident like that, they need to go to somebody who's in authority. Like when they was at that McDonald's, somebody should have went to the manager or to one of the assistants up there who was working up in there and told them that they got an incident going on and that somebody need to call the police, and let somebody know so that somebody of authority could come out there and address that situation. The same way at that school situation with the nooses, when they run into a situation like that, they need to let somebody know, like they did when they let their parents knew, and then the parents went back, and I guess they talked to somebody that was in charge of school. The same way that happened with Flossmoor and Homewood, when they went back and they talked to their parents, and their parents went back and talked to the superintendent of the school and the principal. And even though they were black, they still didn't get the justice that they should have received. But it was acknowledged that it was a problem, and the problem was that it wasn't the kids and it wasn't their behavior. It's that there's people out there that's gonna do crazy stuff, and you have to react in a civilized way. You don't go down to their level. What you do is you rise up and you put somebody on them that's in an authoritarian position to make that address.
Okay. Thank you. I think that they are saying that they called the police, that the Bolingbrook police responded, but the man had left. Now, my thing would be, can you imagine if there were a group of young white people who were accosted and there was a video? They would video face recognition them. They would find them. See, my thing is, in a place like the crib, people got to feel safe. Black people got to know that won't be tolerated. Because once one white folk think they can get away with it, then they all can. But what happens when our young people are not safe in what are supposed to be safe spaces? Let me go to Harold. Harold, you want to talk Chicago, 1690.
Well, it's kind of a dichotomy that you speak of your beloved Bolingbrook, which was historically a sundowner town, right? But you are a native son of Chicago, born in the north end of the Black Metropolis National Heritage Area. There's a real interesting meeting going on right now at the IBA Union Hall where the Hispanics is running our trade unions, but we got the Brownsville Community Development Partnership meeting down there this morning about the Black Metropolis National Heritage Area and how we're going to develop that area. Now, what you missed, Mays, was the entire, while you was in school, you missed the entire Harold Washington Renaissance period, right? And bottom line is, what's been happening since 2007 is accepting the Negro share. We've been buck dancing and shuffling for Mr. Charlie, right? So you wind up with a situation where your primary black leadership today, getting all the cultural arts stuff, is a very intimate friend of your former lame duck mayor, Rahm Emanuel, right? And then you go to the Walk of Fame that we spent time and money, $14 million in the 1990s to put that Walk of Fame there. They done tore down the sign at 25th Street of the Victory Monument, right?
Right.
So, all of these pieces fit together, and then you get to the line now of gentrification is at 35th Street. So the illegal Positive Visitor Information Center, if you tear down cultural institutions under the Rahm Emanuel administration, is part of the regentrification and the removal of so-called even middle-class black people from the most valuable real estate in the Midwest region of the country.
I gotta stop you right there, Harold, because I gotta go to traffic news and the weather. When we come back, y'all, I want to talk about the abortion debate, and I want to talk about Rahm Emanuel. Was he a Jewish mayor or a mayor that was Jewish? I didn't say it. He said it. So y'all can't even start with me, but we are going to have a discussion. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
Take a moment.
Took me forever to find that.
What?
The Bolingbrook McDonald's thing. That was easy to find. That's not most things are.
So we need to tweet the Bolingbrook police. We need to hit them up. Ken, what's his name? Tepper. Come on, Tep. We need you to get him. Oh, somebody said the Riverwalk is right by where all the fumes from the exhaust of people stuck in traffic.
I sent both of you on a lot of topics, either for promo or just to do period.
Okay. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast with me, baby. Share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. See, Todd, man, you looking at that video? That's ridiculous, man. Like, I'm just saying. Who protects the children? I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Yeah, this guy's a big time racist, sure.
So if we know who he is, can we tweet him? Can we Facebook him? Can we all become his friends? Can he get a lot of black friends?
We know who he is?
I think they do know who it is.
I wonder if it's one of those things where he's like, I've started down the racist road. I might as well just keep going.
Well, I think that, see, but can I tell you, I feel like, I know y'all gonna say this is crazy, but I'm telling you, back in Bolingbrook, when we were growing up, it was like, I ain't gonna say we had a drop squad, but you wasn't just getting ready to do that, right? Like the thing I feel like that happened in Bolingbrook when we was growing up was that the black kids, once we got a critical mass, because everybody had to fight on their own, but once we got a critical mass, it was like, it was always somebody that was bigger or better who could whoop the baddest white boy who decided he wanted to call you a nigga. And so by the time we got to like 8th or 9th grade and we had reached critical mass, it was like, if you even thought about getting out your body, you knew that it was coming from somewhere. And you knew that you wasn't going to get to just walk around for the rest of the week. Somebody was going to get at you. Somebody. If somebody found out you called somebody a nigga, or you did something to somebody, then somebody was going to address the situation. And by the time that situation got addressed, nobody else wanted to be on it. So you could look it, you could think it, but the second you did, everybody be looking like, now do you really want? And I feel like that was probably all over the places where black people had to survive. So we always had to use or impose our physical because we knew that they had everything else. They had the advantage of everything else, not that they were better than us. So I feel like now in this Trump era, white folks don't have any fear of black people. Like they feel like, man, I can say what you gonna do. So I can't imagine a time like where a crowd of black teens, where you would say that and get away with it without the whole thing just vamping on you. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like, I think that video, I would not have been mad if that video ended with every black teenager in that place stomping dude out. Now, it didn't happen that way. And because it didn't happen that way, it is incumbent upon the police department and the mayor and everybody to find that dude and make him an example. Because if not, what winds up happening is somebody says we have to defend ourselves. Y'all got the whole thing on video, so there's no denying it. That is when our trustees, when all of our black elected officials have to put their foot down and say, hey, Mr. Mayor, I'm with you, but you got to get on top of that. You can't just be smiling. It's like, y'all know I like Mayor Claire a lot. I love Bolingbrook. But the fact of the matter is, that could have easily been a world star video. With the number of black kids that was there, they could have picked up every tray, chair, everything. I'm telling you, I would have been like, we should have hit them with everything in the building. They didn't do it. Now, because they didn't, there should be a reward or a consequence for that person. If not, then what you are doing is saying you have to defend yourself from that. And I'm telling you that I wouldn't leave my kid in that position. I'd be like, do what you gotta do, and then I'll get you out. But then what happens when your kids don't know when to stop? So, I am saying to the black elected officials, you all need to stand up for your people. That is why you are there. Now, here is also an example of the black elected officials in Bolingbrook, that if you stand with your people on an incident like this, you may not find yourself having to try and find them during the election cycle. Because you are there they know that they have a representative. And it may be a win for Roger, because Bolingbrook should not be a place where that's tolerated, right? This is where the cat can't have your tongue. Oh, I might have to come out to the swearing in. You got the camera.
All right. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. All right. Yeah, Maeve's right about that, though. I've always said, like, all right, my son's not a fighter. You gotta be able to take care of yourself and know when to punch, when to run.
Right now. And over again. Somebody. Boom,
Right.
Fool, such a fool, such a fool. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, Ty Stroger, in the building, y'all. But y'all know how we do at the top of the hour. Got to say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to my girl, Dee Dee, in the newsroom. Got to say what's up to Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins. They are the Wonder Twins. I'm your man, Maze Jackson. We got this flight up in the air. Y'all, when we come back, I got some more stuff I want to talk about. But check this out. Bolingbrook, Illinois, hometown of mine. McDonald's on Weber and Boughton Road. Black teens have to be safe. I want to know, are our children safe in safe spaces? Do you know how many days I spent in McDonald's? Actually, that was my life. I worked there.
Yeah, you worked there.
But I also, man, that's why, got my comeuppance. I could go to McDonald's after the basketball game and stay out till 10:30. But I had to be at McDonald's and I had to come home. And I just think that it is a safe place. It's always been a sacred place for our teens. Not sacred, but it is a place that we know, and they have to be safe in those places. So, also want to remind everybody this Thursday night, that's right, this Thursday night, 4641 South King Drive. It is at the Renaissance. It is the What's in It for the Black People fundraiser. Now, if you want to support an organization that is vociferous about their advocacy for there's plenty of Rainbow Coalition foundations and fundraisers and brown people, blue people, black people, but not black people. Because everything else we talk about is some mixture stuff. But if you want to support straight black politics and black political empowerment, we want to see you this Thursday night, 5:30 to 7:30 at the Renaissance. Shout out to Sean Dyes and John McClendon, both men of Kappa Alpha Psi, but also small business entrepreneurs. They just celebrated 10 years at their other outlet, Tantrum. I don't know if y'all remember Tantrum, but that was a great place. And when we needed a place to be, those brothers stepped right up. So I want to thank them and hope you all will join us. Look, we need to put our money where our political mouths are so that we can start doing more to politically empower us. Todd.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of politics have consequences. And we are seeing the consequences of some of the Trump White House being elected, as well as Trump's White House, which begat the Trump Supreme Court, which now he has a majority on.
Right.
And we are now seeing what I envision as the challenge to what has become a fundamental right in the United States, Roe versus Wade. I don't know if you saw recently, there were 2 laws that were passed. One in Ohio, which highlights the fact that an 11-year-old who was a victim of sexual assault must keep the child of her assaulter.
You mean go to term?
Yes, go to term. Must deliver the child of the person who assaulted her, 11-year-old. I think that is kind of scary. But how many people probably had to live through that during a lot of other times? Black women probably all the time, particularly in slavery. But then, Todd, this new law, this heartbeat law in Georgia that says that a child is considered a full human being at 6 weeks, the moment that a heartbeat can be detected. And if you have an abortion, you could essentially be prosecuted for murder. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. First of all, one more time, Handmaid's Tale, Handmaid's Tale, Handmaid's Tale. This stuff is just getting too eerily similar.
I really think that law might harken back to the first laws. You know, they've expanded, you know, the abortion rights as time has gone on.
So I don't know, and I'm not a professional, but there's a couple things. First of all, I think we as black people have to think about the impacts of this. So think about, is this a new way to imprison, get a new prison population of women? Now, I know this, see, if you watch The Handmaid's Tale, then you know that then what they would do is if you had an abortion and they would know you were fertile, so then they would put you in a women's prison and then they would turn you into a concubine. Now, I know that's a far out extrapolation, but y'all, can I ask a question? How relevant is the abortion issue in the black community? Like, in the scale of priorities, because I'm going to tell you, for white women, it is the end-all, be-all. It is. No, I'm telling you.
No.
They want the right to not use a condom if they want to be able. Let me stop. But that, to me, if you talk to white women, for the most part, it is the number one priority. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a conservative, or to a white woman in Naperville, and she said, I would be a Democrat, but I believe in pro-life. But it's like, if you say, if you believe in keeping your child, or you believe in pro-life, there's no space for you in the Democratic Party. Is that like it seems like that right now will become the number one priority.
Well, that's I mean, it's just the other side of the coin, where the Republicans are just the opposite. If you are pro-choice, then they're like, well, you can't be a Republican.
Oh, so let me ask you a question. But what role is this in the black community? Are black people, because again,
we ain't that monolithic.
I'm going to ask you on because you know the Democratic platform, they're going to be running around, they're going to be passing out them pink hats so you can wear it on your head, right? Wear your stuff on your head. But my question becomes, how big of a priority is the abortion issue in the black community? When we come back, I want you to give me a call, 312-374-8130. I don't want to speak on it necessarily. I'm not pro. Let me say this. I believe in the right to life. No. I believe a woman has the right to choose with her body. I hope she would choose some other options. But I do think that we need to be careful about how this thing extrapolates, and I want to know, how important is the abortion issue in the black community? Call us back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson.
No, man, I can literally tell you, I'm sitting in my chair in Springfield. No, that's not true.
Oh, yeah, I must be sitting. Yeah, I'm sitting in my chair. And somebody comes up to me and, you know, like in Springfield, they'd have like a day where they do all the abortion bills because it was such a big issue. And the white women, they had no problem coming and saying, you need to vote for this. This is good for your community.
Because we want you to kill as many of your babies as you can.
You should have heard Shirley Jones. Boy, they didn't talk to her after that first time.
And she blasted them.
What'd she say?
Basically, get out of my face. I don't need you to tell me what to do. You don't live in my community. I know my community. And I'm not voting for it.
When did that change? Because I'm going to tell you now, if them white women get in your face now, you in Springfield, they be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I've never been, I'm just not that far left. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't think there should be just a free-for-all. There's got to be some kind of rules. And you got to take some kind of responsibility for yourselves in some fashion. I mean, it's a shame, but that you'd have to tell people that, but that's what it is.
My mother, hates Planned Parenthood. She says that she just remembers seeing those little white houses in the South, and it would be real-time population control of black women and children.
Well, that's what Planned Parenthood was created for.
To what?
It was created for birth control of black people. If you read Margaret Sanger, Sanger's book, that's what it talks about. It's really about making sure there's not too many of us running around. It's probably some kind of movie. I can't think of what that would be. That'd be like The Purge, but way before we get born. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't for just because women want to control their body. Planned Parenthood really started as a method of birth control, but birth control of poor people, poor black people. So we got some. There's a lot of people who have issues with Planned Parenthood, not just the Republicans. But as a Democrat, there's a lot of pressure on you to extend abortion rights, and everybody's not on board.
Black people are all on board. Like, if you were to watch this debate in Springfield...
They're not all on board. They're fearful. They're fearful of getting those white people upset at them. I mean, I even know some of them. They don't want to, I'm kind of towing the company line.
Right.
Yeah.
Baby love. Not baby love, Sonia. Not baby love. Oh my God. She terrible. Still me in the bag.
But it's baby love, isn't it?
Make you stay on the waves.
It's baby love. Baby love. I'm missing ya. Oh, I love away. I love away.
You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, Todd Stroger, in the building. And Todd, did you see that the film industry is considering boycotting Georgia over their new stance on the birth rate heartbeat bill?
That's, yes. But that's pretty big stuff. I mean, everything you see has a Georgia peach on it now.
Well, almost everything, unless it's in Chicago. But could that be a boom for Chicago, the bluest state in the Midwest?
I bet it would be.
I mean, I'm saying, like, maybe this thing is working out and we need to chill out. But I just think that, Todd, is very crazy to me that this whole concept of women's right to choose abortion is rearing its ugly head again. And I thought it was a settled situation with Donald Trump being in charge and a lot of left-leaning, extremely right-leaning Republicans now pushing forth an agenda that they hope will probably, in my estimation, get to the Supreme Court. Because if it makes it to the Supreme Court, Todd, it's going to be problems. And white women will be... Did you know they're having a Handmaid's Tale, a white women Handmaid's Tale rally in Springfield this week? They're going to dress up like handmaids.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, because they've done it before, too, because their number one priority for women... I feel like the number one priority for women to demonstrate that you are in control is the right to have an abortion, according to some of these women. And I don't know. I want to understand what's going on. So let me start with Marlo. Marlo, you're on the Talk of Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, Brother Mays. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Marlo.
I think ultimately that it is the conservative hope that this will make its way in court. I think they are waiting for somebody to challenge this, and they believe that with Donald Trump now being allowed to appoint 2 Supreme Court judges, They believe that the Supreme Court is sufficiently conservative now that they can overturn Roe versus Wade. But I would say this, as far as the black community goes as well, I think, we're not really it's not really that big of an issue, but it does show that there are people who are always wanting to control your body if they can't control your mind. And, I think, they want to control black men's bodies, they want to control women's bodies. That has been the goal of folks in power for a long time.
All right. Thank you, Marlo. Let's go to Mama D. Mama D, you're on Talk Chicago, 1690.
Hey, good morning. Good
morning.
Guys,
Good
thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
You were looking good last night. Was that kind of a tuxedo? That little black extra. But I was wondering if that was a light-skinned black man or a white man that came up on stage with you, and I was totally lost when you say people were telling you you can be bigger than black.
Oh, I'm going to tell you.
What do you mean? Blacks are parents of civilization.
I'm 100% with you. So you know who that white man was? That was Todd Ronskowski, the program director at WVON. So that's the white guy who came up. But Mama D.
So it wasn't a light-skinned black man. Okay, I suppose you know that. But anyway, I think that a woman does have a right to choose. She could choose not to get in a family way. She could choose not to become a trinity, part living egg and part living sperm, and part living with the egg and the sperm put together. I believe she could choose pills and foam and gel and patches and prophylactic and diaphragm and tube ties and panties up, dressed down, and clothes. But the man ought to have a vote. It's to represent the sperm and what the egg and the sperm put together called the child. And two is against one. Murder is not a choice. It's an offensive thing. But in conclusion, what bothered me was when the governor in blackface, 3 days before they discovered he was in blackface, he signed a bill that said if the baby is born, you would make him comfortable until a mother and a doctor, just one, decide how you're going to execute it. No limits on abortion. That really, wow.
So, see, here's the thing, guys. Thank you, Mama D. One of the things that I think is really interesting is I don't know if we share the same views as white folks and white Democrats on this issue, but I've never heard a black person speak up on it. I've never heard a black person in Springfield City Council, whenever this issue comes up, I don't think I've ever really heard the black viewpoint. I think that the black viewpoint has always been presumed by white women telling us that it's better for, we know what's better for y'all, which is y'all need to get rid of them babies because you can't keep them. Let's go to Rick. You're on the Talk Chicago 1690. Quickly. Quick.
Yeah, my position is it's not choice if you feel you have no choice.
Okay.
You feel like there's no way I can raise this child. So we don't support birth. We have 13% of the population is doing 30% of the abortions.
Okay.
We don't want to look at the history, the Margaret Sangers and stuff. It was put in there to get rid of black people. It was never intended for white women to do this. So again, it's not choice if you have. We need to support the women, the children in the schools, everything when they grow up. When you have your child, and then it's a choice.
Thank you, Rick. Donald, you got the last one.
Yes, a woman. I believe a woman has a choice. The choice is who she sleeps with. White people are at zero population growth. The majority of people having abortions are the black women. So it's an effort to decrease the black population, and they're using it as a humane thing when it really isn't. I have 5 daughters. I've taught them all, before you sleep with a man, make sure he's worthy of you, and make sure that if something were to happen, you at least know he's a person that has value and understanding and would help you in that situation. So until you find someone like that, you should just refrain from having sex.
Oh, now, Donald, I'm going to tell you, I think that is a dope answer. I don't know if it always works. One of the things that my girl Ready Rock pointed out too is, and y'all, I think we gotta really think about this. Like, what is the long-term ramifications? Y'all know they give you birth control now that can last up to a year or something. Like, so what is that doing to your body? What chemicals and how does that extrapolate out 20 years from now when you no longer can have children, etc.? Y'all, I think we got to think about a way more nefarious plot than just, hey, you can't take care of the responsibility. And so every time you go in and they pumping something that they tell you will work for 2 years in your body, what is that doing to you? What is that doing to us? And could there be a potential of them really trying to take us down long term? Hey y'all, when we come back, I want to talk about this. Was Mayor Rahm Emanuel a Jewish mayor or a mayor that was Jewish? I didn't say it. He said it. I want y'all to answer the question. We'll be back after talking traffic.
Live from the WVON News.
Uh-oh, it's getting ready to be trouble. Todd, you got the camera.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that came up. Seeing as he brought it up, I'm surprised it really came up. Makes you wonder, did somebody say to him, he didn't do anything for anybody but Jewish people? At least, well, I guess Mays has said that he got a lot of Jewish people from New York, rich and doing projects and developments. But I don't think I've ever heard anybody really even question, not in any real manner, that he was Jewish or anything else. I think a lot of us have moved past that kind of stuff. Of course, we have a healthy hesitation with anybody who isn't black, because we have found in the past that, hey, you ignore us. I think it goes back to what Harold Lucas was saying. I think Harold Lucas, he did make a point about, we had a bright moment when Harold Washington was the mayor, and he used his hammer to make sure that black people were getting things. But his light only shined for 5 years, and then we just went back to fighting each other and being, that's what, there's anything that Harold Washington did was he brought everybody together in the same way. Before him, we were fighting. After him, we're fighting. I still say we're fighting. And that's one reason we can't do what Mays was saying. There's not a leader because no one wants one. They prefer to fight.
Oh, you've been doing this? 15 read for comment. Where is that at? What the hell?
I didn't read it. I just leave it about it.
But there is nothing in here for comment. Let me see. That's AARP. We can take out the Mother's Day thing. Who put this mess together?
Everyone can use a champion whose sole job
There is no common live read, so I'll address that with time.
Yeah, until we
when
get
it comes
this, this idea of someone who can lead. Unfortunately, it seems that the leader has to put everything together.
Responsible conversation.
And
What's
bring
today?
everyone
14th?
together without any real help.
Today's the
No one's
14th,
looking for
right?
anybody to be a
Yes.
leader.
All right, do your healthy tip of the day.
I don't think anybody looking to be a leader either. Being a leader is a pain in the flesh. But it's mostly about planning. I would guess that Lori Lightfoot, well, maybe she didn't have to, she caught something that was percolating, because there was a group of people who wanted power. Yeah, I see something interesting. Lori Lightfoot is going to have a press conference tomorrow.
About what?
Oh, no, that's today, Tuesday.
Her appointments?
No, a briefing on how she plans to end automatic prerogative.
Good luck with that shit. You better get you some better stuff to deal with, cause that
something a
is
little
that,
more
like
important.
you better get some like. Come on, man. Like, do you want like so all them aldermen that have power plants and stuff? Give them. Come on. Like this to me is Obamacare. This is okay. You got you don't let the press pick your headlines. Why pick a fight that's going to you gotta put a budget together. You need votes. That is not the fight to have, or unless she's doing it as theater.
Yeah.
Now, if she does something and she creates a process that takes it out of the all, she gon' hurt herself coming in right now.
And why have a fight that you might not win?
Right.
I mean, you know.
Then if she loses this fight, then I'm Preckwinkle, I pounce. Well, Preckwinkle can't pounce, but somebody pounces. Somebody white. Then you would start to hear the countdown. Right? She loses this thing on automatic privilege. Then the headline becomes Mayor Lightfoot tries, whiffs, hits, misses, hits, swings and misses, and now aldermen take over city council. And then at that point, she gonna have a trouble getting a 26. By doing that, she is going to put herself in a jam unless again she is doing it theatrically. I could see driveways, but I can't see. And if you're going to put all of the same old people in oversight, right? It's like you only setting it up for. See, my thing is, she going to be teeing it up for the white boys to come back and take their space, right? So if you come from Daly and all the people around you, and they tell you all the good government stuff to do, stay on this page. I'm just telling y'all, it's gonna be problems.
Podcast and more on the World Wide Web at WVON.com.
Love never felt so right. Baby, every time I slip you, now my life in and out, baby, baby. Love never felt so good. Love never felt so fine. Oh, I hate Justin. We hate Justin Timberlake. We hate Justin. You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I was almost about to like that song until I remembered stinking Justin Timberlake.
Man, that guy's a pretty darn good singer.
You know what? I'm going to tell y'all what.
I wanted to dislike him, but
I never forgave Justin Timberlake for Janet Jackson. I never forgot. So the sister had her nipple exposed, and she got in trouble. He ripped her shirt, and she got in trouble. See how that works, black guys? See, y'all stay away from them. I'm telling y'all that. All right, y'all. So I want to talk about something that has been a very uncomfortable conversation. But before I do that, I want to make sure that you all are aware of your health tip from ResU. Now, you know May is Health Awareness Month. And did you know that bananas have a natural antacid effect in the body? So if you suffer from heartburn, try eating a banana for soothing relief. Now, this healthy tip is brought to you by Resurrection University. See what ResU can do for you. Start your career now at Resurrection University. Todd, I eat a banana every morning on the way to WVON. The problem with eating a banana, because I stop at a white store, and I hate to like peel it and eat it, and then I really hate eating it on the way, because then it's always some white dude looking over like, and I'd be like, just what I thought. I'd be like, okay, don't get punched out in this mug. All right, but you know what, Todd? I want to, you know what? So I was already a little bit out of shape because your man Rahm Emanuel wanted to have the new Riverwalk named after him. Todd, one of the things that I talk about is the shift in power. And right now, Rahm Emanuel is transitioning out of power. During the realm of Mayor Daley, the Greens.
Not quietly.
Right, not quietly. Oh no, he going all the way to the end. But he gave all his friends, he gave everybody a gift before he left. He gave him like $7 billion. So he gonna be straight. But Todd, when I was thinking about the people who got the money, the people who benefited the most from Rahm Emanuel, who do you think benefited the most from Rahm Emanuel?
Well, I'm taking from listening to Mace Jackson's show, New York bankers and developers.
New York bankers and developers and money guys. And guys, so during the era of Mayor Daley, the Green Team reigned supreme. He made local millionaires, I told you. Like, that's why all the McCaffreys and the McHughes and the Walshes and all of those names, they built businesses and brands that you see all around, and they put their imprint. But it took them 50-something years. In the course of 8 years, Rahm commissioned the rebuilding of a whole new north side of the city. And started on I think that the north side is going to start at 33rd. Right? You know how New York it is, like the upper and the lower? Like, yeah. He trying to make it more like a New Yorkish. But Todd, I also talked about who benefited, like, economically. And I used to say, I would say, the Green Team is doing their thing. The Tribe does their thing. We got all these people. Well, everybody would be like, you can't be talking about that. You can't be talking about that. Until last night, Rahm cracked the door. So first, let's start here. Let's start with, was Rahm Emanuel biased? Do you think he was a biased mayor?
I think everybody has some bias.
Okay,
and they start out with it, and you tell me who you don't think is biased when they talk about black people.
Oh, well, I think who's black people. I think black people are biased when they talk about black people, but they biased against black people. Rahm, on the other hand, pointed out yesterday on Chicago Tonight his allegiances. Let's go to what Rahm had to say on Chicago Tonight about whether he was. Let's just hear what he had to say. Go.
But if a Jewish mayor, the first Jewish mayor, or the Jewish member of Congress representing a historically Catholic district, has to prove that they are a member of the community rather than somebody else. I've met people all over the city of Chicago, in grocery stores, front stoops, on the L, in places of worship of different faith. I'm often, regularly, just a week ago, was at a Baptist church in Bronxville. I know the people of the city of Chicago, they have good values. They did not see me as a Jewish mayor. They saw me as a mayor who is Jewish.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you think the Jewish people saw him as a Jewish mayor or a mayor that was Jewish? If I was to look at who made the most money during the Rahm Emanuel term, I would suggest that the Jewish community thought of him as a Jewish mayor. And when he interacted with the Jewish community, he operated as a Jewish mayor. It seems to me that the only people that are forced to deny who they are, or who are forced to try and downplay their heritage, their concern for each other, is us. Todd, look at where the money went, and this is a lesson for black people. Right? On the Game of Thrones, they say, what is known need not be spoken. When Rahm met with his people, he didn't have to say, hey guys, we're all us, and I'm going to take care of you. It was an understanding. He understood that, and they understood that while he was in the power. Remember, he noticed, he said, while he was in power in a Catholic town, because he mentioned it as a Catholic town.
He did.
He knew where his bread was buttered. And even at that, I just want to point out, can you go to what he said about Farrakhan?
And I know that Mike fights bigotry and racism. If you call him out, Louis Farrakhan deserves a place in the church, given his language is one of divisiveness. Now, I have spoken about not religion, but faith. Religion sometimes divides us. Faith unites us. And I don't support letting the platform of St. Sabina for somebody that pits one ethnic, one religious community against all others in a way that if you didn't know who said it, you'd have said that's a white supremacist. And I know that Mike fights bigotry and racism. If you call him in on a cell phone, is Dr. King's message. That is not one of division. That is one of unity. So I think, though, as it relates to the Catholic Church, I think the Cardinal speaks for the Catholic Church, and I support
So
what
you
the
did
Cardinal.
talk to him about that?
I happen to talk to the Cardinal. Cardinal and I talked, but I'm not going to talk to you about it.
So, the Cardinal got together with Ron, and they had a conversation about Minister Farrakhan. See, y'all, as my brother King Mufasa Red says, white supremacy is a team sport. Is that what he says? It's a team sport. So
That's right. I mean, you can't keep it going if everybody's got their own agenda. The agenda has to keep people back.
Todd, I feel some kind of way.
Right, think about that. You are absolutely correct. And even when like black people get in spaces where they're raised very high in organizations where it's all white or mostly white, when they see another black person, it's like saying, it's like an unspoken thing. Man, I'll do the best I can for you, but you know, I can't make all the decisions.
Or they're gonna say, hey man, look man, really what they do is be like, it's every man for himself. Negro, I'm not messing my stuff up for you.
Yeah,
I got this.
Everybody's not like that.
Right. Well, I think that but here's the problem. The challenge for us is, if we make a mistake in that process, we done forever. White folks, they get a change order.
Right.
Right? Look, they say, why, Negro, why you can't do this for half the cost of what we gonna pay our friends to do it? Y'all, I think that if you listen to that interview, you understood that they stick together. And guess who is on the menu all the time? Think about this. He was meeting with the king of the black people to talk about, you know what, y'all. When do we get our own self-interest? Who is leading for black people? Y'all Kang was meeting with the mayor. Y'all, I'm just torn right now. It's the Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
May is Health Awareness Month.
I lost that one.
The mayor got a lot to say now that he's leaving, doesn't he?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the minister, huh?
Yeah.
I need somebody. Can you find J.B. Pritzker saying he would meet with Minister Farrakhan? Do you have that?
I'm sure she does.
JB?
Remember when J.B. came on my show and said he would meet with Minister Farrakhan?
I don't remember that.
I wasn't here.
Yeah. Oh, you were gone for the.
I wasn't here for that.
Okay. That should be in a file somewhere.
You want me to call him and see?
Cool.
J.B. Bricks, if you want to come on and talk about it?
Sure.
Okay.
He ain't gonna come on this show.
You don't think so?
And I think that Sean Rapelier and his crew, they've been trying to burn my name up. So, yeah, but it's all good. You can reach out. But it's all good. It's like we gonna have us some black leadership though, and it's gonna be a point when everybody gonna get just talk shit to us. We gonna get strong around here one of these days. I'm telling you. That's why I need y'all at the What's in It for the Black People fundraiser. See, what they want is for nobody to show up. So they could say, like, remember when we did our cookout and they said, oh, they're giving away free hot dogs and hamburgers. So now all the black people are coming in. We had all them people. Remember? It's like they got to stop. See, and we can't, I'm not all. Just not doing all. I just can't. All don't help us. Love never felt. I'm not progressive.
Funny how people are like, yeah, I like the mayor to make the decision, because then you can hold somebody accountable. But in the end, who is the mayor accountable to? Because he or she is so powerful, they can make a decision over here, but they're also making all these decisions with $30 other billion. So only a group is concerned about this decision, and all the people are concerned about this, so that decision just gets lost. And if you're a group that's not very powerful, your decision is only going to be a concern of yours.
People only care about you if you can help them or you can hurt them. They only care about you in politics. They say, how can this guy help me? How can this guy hurt me? Oh, guys, I'm really getting depressed about this state rep seat. I just want to say that. Because I'm not going to get the appointment. I can already tell you. But I think I got to run, y'all. I think I got to run. I could win that son of a gun.
Oh, in my Godfather analogy, you're not Clemenza or Tessio. You're Tom Hayden.
Yeah, but Tom was like a peacetime consigliere. I'm a wartime consigliere. I'm a wartime consigliere.
No,
Tom, he's like, Tom, you're out. That's what happened. Tom, you're out.
You missed my point. I'm talking about Vito, though. This is about Vito.
Oh.
So Tom was like he was his adopted son. So he was literally a part of the family. He wasn't part of the big family. He was part of the family.
Yes, I agree. That's what makes this so hard. This is like, do you start your own family? Is it time to grow up and start your own family?
You know, you're supposed to ask Adon about that first.
Hey, Bubba, they're playing soap. Da-da, da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da, ba-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Da 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 da. Boom 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 boom. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. Y'all, you know what? I came in here to be mad all day. I was in here trying to have a bad attitude. You know I was mad. And it seems like once I get through with the WVON Morning Show, I'm in a great place. Hey, y'all, it is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. My man, Todd Stroger, is my co-host. And that is the theme song to the soap opera, the nighttime soap opera Soap. Man, I tell you, I used to be a kid. My parents was like, you can't watch this. You got to go to bed. And I would be like, good, because it was very scary. But now that I look back, I might have to go watch some of those soap episodes. Todd, was Mayor Rahm Emanuel a Jewish mayor or a mayor that was Jewish? Do you think he took care of the Jewish community? Do you think he went out of his way to take care of the Jewish community?
I think it was easy because they have isolated, or I shouldn't say isolated, insulated themselves for so long that they have kept their money within the group. They have good positions. So it's easy to find people you can say, this guy can do the job. So Yeah, I think he did.
And do you think he did it consciously or did he do it unconsciously? Did they just happen to be in the space, or did he say, "Hey y'all, the doors of the church are open"? No, the doors of the synagogue are open. Come get yours. How did they? I mean,
That's a good question.
did they have a meeting? Was there an understanding? Is there how did they know that the city was open for business the way it was? I mean, how did Chicago go from Chicago, the Midwest town, to the love affair of the capital money managers of the world in New York? I mean, I feel like there was a meeting, and I feel like think about people like Michael Sachs. Did we ever hear him during the Daily Era?
No.
Right? Like,
I knew he existed.
right, we knew he existed, but where did these
That was still inside of baseball.
Exactly. But when did these? I mean, I think about when you look at the West Loop, when you look at this, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm saying, they are 3% of the population. I'm gonna tell you, I think they made 90% of the money during this time.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, literally, the major funds, capital.
But you got to remember, that space that they're working in, and I'm talking about the financial space, it's like the unions. It's not a space that black people have been able to really break in any big numbers.
Well, so my question is, if you had Rahm Emanuel, that would have been our best chance to break into. Here's my question again: who's looking out for our future?
Let me tell you a quick story.
Tell me.
When the investment bankers in the 80s, when Ronald Reagan cut all the rules and people were making money hand over fist when you're an investment banker. Nowadays, you can make $6.50 off of 1,000. Back in those days, you could make $20 off of 1,000. Black people started winning these municipal races and becoming mayors. All of a sudden, we started getting black investment bankers. We didn't have any before then. They start their own firms. The investment banking industry said, hold it, and they created some new rules. And that's when they decided you had to take a 3-hour test with 325 questions on it to start your own business. And then you had to take other tests to be the head of a
Series
business.
6 to Series 7, Series
24, yes. And that was a way that stopped a lot of black people who just couldn't pass those tests. It was I've never been in finance, and the tests aren't just about doing municipal bonds or something. They're about everything under the sun that your father couldn't tell you about because he knew nothing about, because he was working, in a blue collar trying to bring home the bacon. So it's just another way to keep black people out.
So let me ask you a question.
And others.
Will Lori Lightfoot be a mayor that is black or a black mayor? See, our problem, to me, politically, is we have a lot of elected officials that are black, not black elected officials. And that, to me, is fundamentally where we have to change. Black first. Look, for my girl Dee Dee, who got here a little bit late, for Sonia Tompkins and Sonia Escobar, no shade to Dee Dee because she was filling in. For my co-host Todd Stroger, I am the host of the WVON Morning Show. I was planning on having a crabby attitude, but y'all got me out of it. So, if you don't like it, you can still tell them. May said, we'll be back tomorrow. We out of here. Peace.
Come on, what was that?
Okay. If you don't like it, you can still tell them. May said, we out of here. Peace. All right. All right,
The website. Check it out.
Take a moment.
The Talk of Chicago and the vote.
They trying to shut me down, y'all. They trying to shut us down. They don't want us to get no love. All right, we out of here. Peace.
Administration, how you spell that? Oh, AD.
ADMIN.
That's right, I got it. I just had to see the moment.
Wait, where's my computer?
You put it up, didn't you?
Oh, here it goes.
Yeah, I watched that, but I watched it, you know, trying to make sure my parents didn't notice I was watching. It was very risque.